Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Naruto, I starts to learn Fly Thunder God at the beginning. Chapter 1. Konoha Village. In the mountains behind the ninja school. Ha, ha, a young man in orange sportswear ran quickly on the tree trunks in the woods. The boy had short yellow hair and wore goggles on his forehead. The most eye-catching thing is the huge scroll on his back. There are 4 large characters on the cover of the scroll, sealed book. Ha 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 ha, Naruto, you stupid demon fox can't escape. Hurry up and hand over the sealed book. Shuimu let out a ferocious laugh, and his voice echoed through the mountains behind, spreading far away. Mizuki observed the footprints on the tree trunk and accelerated towards the front. Today is the day of ninja school graduation. And just today, Mizuki successfully deceived Naruto and helped him steal the sealed book. As long as we can get the sealed book and successfully escape from Konoha. Mizuki was able to use the sealed book as a gift and give it to Orochimaru, gaining Orochimaru's favor. Mizuki, who had mediocre qualifications, was not taken seriously in Konoha at all. He had been a ninja for many years and only became a ninja teacher. This is not the life that Mizuki wants at all. He wants to gain power, recognition and admiration from more people. After coming into contact with the potion left by Orochimaru for the first time, Mizuki knew clearly that Orochimaru was the person who could bring him strength. No, I can't stop. Naruto was breathing heavily, but he still didn't dare to stop and ran forward quickly. Suddenly, a burst of strong light came. Naruto only felt a stinging pain in his eyes, and then he stepped on it and fell to the ground with a plop. Did I travel through time? I traveled through time and became Naruto. Chen Fan raised his head and looked around in confusion. His body turned into Naruto. Last night, I just rewarded myself once, and then I fell into a coma inexplicably. When I woke up again, I actually appeared in the world of Naruto. At the same time, the memories of Naruto's 12 years of life flashed through his mind like a movie, quickly merging with Chen Fan's memories. The disdain of the villagers. Exclusion from peers. The cynicism of the school teacher. And the fact that Mizuki just said that he is a demon fox. Naruto's life is so miserable, and these guys are really hateful. Perhaps it was that picture that made people feel the same, and Chen Fan felt extremely angry in his heart at this moment. However, in the ninja world, in this seemingly peaceful and beautiful Konoha village, just empty anger will have no effect at all. If you want to gain respect and recognition from others, you must be strong enough. By the way, the Book of Sealing, I must learn the ninjutsu on it. Thinking of this, Chen Fan got up and hid in the dense bushes nearby. Untie the ties binding the outer cover of the sealed book, and lay the scroll flat on the ground. Chen Fan's eyes widened and he read the contents carefully. The art of multiple shadow clones, the art of reincarnation from dirty soil, the art of flying thunder god, the 8-gate dungeon, the Rasengan, the sealing of zombies. All go, awesome. Chen Fan didn't know what words to use to describe his mood at the moment, so he could only use the word, awesome, instead. The ninjutsu recorded in the sealed book are all powerful ninjutsu that are famous in the ninja world. As long as you can learn 1 or 2 of them, you will have superior combat power in this ninja world. Let me take a look at the magic seals of multiple shadow clones, Cho, Shu, Chen, Zi, Shu, Hai, Si. This is too complicated. Chen Fan couldn't help but frown when he saw the multiple shadow clone seal gestures on the Book of Seal scrolls. In fact, the 8 gates Dunjia and the Flying Thunder God technique in the Book of Scrolls were even more tempting to Chen Fan. But Chen Fan took a quick glance and realized that the complexity of learning these 2 techniques was many times more complicated than that of multiple shadow clones. What suits you is the best? Naruto's body has a huge amount of chakra, and multiple shadow clones are the ninjutsu that can bring out the greatest strength at present. Chen Fan muttered to himself. He stared at the Book of Seal scrolls, the technique of sealing multiple shadow clones, and various detailed precautions, silently reciting them in his heart over and over again. A figure stepped on the tree trunk and appeared one after another from a distance. He stared closely at the footprints on the tree trunk, and after realizing that there were no traces in front of him, he suddenly stopped. Naruto, I know you are hiding here, come out quickly, you damn demon fox, and hand over the sealed book to me as soon as possible. Mizuki's face was filled with ferocious expression, and he let out a hysterical roar. Not being able to get the sealed book for so long made Mizuki a little crazy. Damn, this Mizuki came at the wrong time. Chen Fan hid behind the dense bushes and cursed quietly. I have just barely memorized the method of forming multiple shadow clones. But now Mizuki was approaching step by step, following the trail. There was no time for Naruto to record the methods of using the Flying Thunder God technique and the training methods of the 8-Gate Dunjia. System. Is the system there? Chen Fan shouted in his heart. As a time traveler, Chen Fan had read many novels in his previous life, so he knew very well that having a system was a standard requirement for time travelers. As Chen Fan finished speaking, a lowly alert sounded in his mind. Ding. Serving you. The check-in system is being bound. Congratulations to the host, the sign-in system is successfully bound and you can start signing in. Tip. The sign-in system can sign in once a day, and the host can receive random rewards. One small sign every week, one big sign every month. Tip. The reward items obtained during the week and before the month are more generous. The sign-in reward items are all items from the ninja world, including ninja tools, ninjutsu, taijutsu, blood inheritance limits, etc. The system's lowly notification sounds sounded in his mind one after another, and Chen Fan became extremely excited. Ha 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 ha. As expected, the novel does not deceive me. Sign-in system. It's like you don't have to do anything. You can get rewards from the system as soon as you open your eyes every day. Isn't this too comfortable? System. Start signing in immediately. Chen Fan gave the order in his heart. Ding. Sign in successfully. Rewards are being distributed to you, please wait. Congratulations to the host, you have received sign-in reward 1, Ninja Detonating Talisman X3, reward 2, Hexagonal Shuriken X3, reward 3, Fuma Shuriken X3. Ah, this system, you are giving this reward too casually. Chen Fan was very depressed. The detonating talisman was of no use. If you had money, you could buy it outside. Naruto, I see you, come out quickly. Give me the sealed book, and I will let you go. Mizuki's voice sounded again. He held a kunai in his hand, constantly scanning the surroundings for traces, and slowly approached the bush where Naruto was. You're stupid, I don't want to care about you right now. Chen Fan looked at Mizuki through the gap in the trees as if he were an idiot. Now that he has mastered multiple shadow clones, Chen Fan would have really wanted to rush out and beat the shit out of Mizuki if he wasn't eager to get more benefits from the system. At the same time, Chen Fan had already recognized his identity as Uzumaki Naruto in his heart. Once it comes, be at peace with it. Even if it comes, you can't get away by running away. System, are there any other rewards, such as novice gift packages or something? Naruto was very unwilling and asked the system again. Ding. Reward host novice gift pack, square meters of system saving space. Ding. Please host to make a camp choice now. Faction 1. Become Konoha's loyal licking dog, inherit the will of fire, and obtain the Super Virgin Aura. Effect of the Super Holy Mother's Halo. Mouth escape ability plus 100%. You can obtain super mouth escape ability and influence the enemy with love. Faction 2. Become a blackened rebel ninja of Konoha. Seek justice for the unfair treatment suffered by Uzumaki Naruto, and gain 2 seconds of super reading and re-engraving ability. Tip. 2 seconds of super memory ability. You can choose 2 ninjutsu from the Book of Seal Scrolls and imprint them in the host's mind. Holy shit, do you still have to choose? Only a fool wants to be Konoha's loyal dog. I choose Camp 2. Naruto shouted in his heart and chose Camp 2 without hesitation. As long as you can immediately imprint the Flying Thunder God technique and the 8-Gate Dunjia in your mind, then wouldn't it mean that you have mastered these 2 powerful techniques? Ding. The host has chosen Camp 2 and became Konoha's blackened rebel ninja. Tip. Due to the current limited strength of the host, the time limit for defection is set to 1 year at the latest, otherwise the system will automatically explode. All go, what the hell, automatic explosion. Naruto was speechless, but 1 year was enough. With the Flying Thunder God in hand, Naruto had no difficulty in leaving whenever he wanted. Host, the super reading and copying ability is being turned on for you, please check it. As the system's words fell, Naruto felt his eyeballs heat up, and his eyes instantly turned into 24K Tai Krypton gold dog eyes, emitting 2 dazzling lights. Wow! In 2 seconds, Naruto twisted his head and used the strong light from his eyes to copy all the contents of Flying Thunder God and 8-Gate Dunjia and store them in the depths of his mind. Awesome class! Noticing the information about the 2 techniques stored in his mind, Naruto's heart was filled with jelly. Ha! Mizuki heard the movement in the bushes, and a ferocious smile appeared on his lips. Naruto. I found you. Why are you snoring and calling your grandma a dick? What can you do to me if you find out? Naruto's voice came from the trees. Baga, you damn demon fox. Mizuki was even more angry. His right hand shook slightly, and several kunai slipped out of his sleeve. Swoosh, swoosh, he held the kunai between his fingers and flicked it hard. The kunai flew towards the trees with a sound of breaking through the air. Kacha, kacha, the sharp blade cut off many roots and branches of the trees, and the kunai also penetrated deeply into the trees. Why is there no movement? Mizuki's face was full of confusion. The location he had just aimed at was very accurate. He was almost certain that Naruto was hiding in that location. Is it dead already? Mizuki muttered and stepped closer to the bushes. Your grandfather and I will not die so easily, Mizuki. The technique of multiple shadow clones. Just as Mizuki was about to reach out and push aside the bushes, Naruto's voice came from inside, startling him. Immediately afterwards, the trees shook with a roar, and Naruto jumped out of the trees one after another. Suddenly, Naruto's figure was everywhere, on the top of the tree, on the branches, and on the ground. In just a few breaths, 1,000 Naruto shadow clones surrounded Mizuki. Hey, Nani, how could this happen? Mizuki was immediately confused, his eyes scanning the surroundings with fear, not knowing what to do. Mizuki, didn't you yell a lot just now, calling me a stupid demon fox? Naruto had a provocative smile on his lips and was in no hurry to kill Mizuki. Such a hateful guy must be humiliated and tortured. TCH, aren't you a demon fox? You are the monster that everyone in the village hates, Naruto. Mizuki gritted his teeth and cursed angrily. He knew in his heart that he had no chance to escape at this moment, so he also wanted to fight to the death. Mizuki quickly took off the extra-large 4-pointed shuriken on his back, raised his hand and suddenly charged up and swung it. The 4-cornered shuriken spun rapidly, making a whining sound, and flew towards the Narutos closest to him. Bang, bang, about 3 or 4 Naruto shadow clones were hit by the 4-pointed shurikens, which exploded into clouds of white smoke and disappeared into the air. It took so much effort to defeat 4 shadow clones with just such a little trick, ha 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 ha. Mizuki, you are too incompetent, ha 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 ha, you still want to deal with me with this little strength, are you dreaming? More than 900 shadow clones taunted Mizuki from all directions. All of them were laughing loudly or swaying their buttocks towards Mizuki. Not far away, on a 1,000-year-old tree, 2 Anbu ninjas who had been secretly following and monitoring also had a panoramic view of the scene in front of them. No, this guy Naruto actually learned multiple shadow clones. Can this be wrong? Look at the number of shadow clones. I'm afraid there are no less than 1,000 people. Naruto actually used multiple shadow clones to this extent. The amount of his chakra is too terrifying. The 2 Anbu ninjas looked at each other and saw the horror in each other's eyes. They simply couldn't believe that Naruto, who had always had mediocre qualifications in the ninja school, actually had such talent in this ninjutsu. Damn it, Naruto, you damn demon fox. Mizuki cursed with hatred in his eyes. Looking at the dense crowd of Naruto around him, he only felt helpless. The quantity is too much. Do we need to use that thing now? Thinking of this, Mizuki reached into the ninja bag on his waist and took out a transparent glass bottle. The glass bottle contains half a bottle of red liquid. Mizuki gritted his teeth, pulled out the cork, and poured all the red potion into his mouth. Naruto, you forced me. Since I used Orochimaru's secret medicine today, you will definitely die, ha 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 ha. Mizuki threw the bottle away and let out a ferocious laugh. As soon as he finished speaking, Mizuki's body seemed to start to change. The skin on his upper body began to squirm, as if something was trying to come out of it. Ha 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 ha, power, I can clearly feel my strength increasing. Mizuki laughed wildly, and he clenched his fist hard, making a cracking sound with his finger bones. For a moment, Mizuki's body expanded rapidly, and his already tall and strong figure actually grew a lot taller again. The body is more than 2 meters tall, and the clothes on the upper body are stretched to bursting. The skin underneath was exposed, covered with yellow and black hair, and bulging muscles, which looked very explosive. He looked like a human-shaped tiger. Naruto was slightly startled. Isn't this the failed potion that Orochimaru left for Mizuki? Fortunately, this guy thought it was a good thing, haha. Naruto shook his head disdainfully and looked at Mizuki as if he were looking at someone dead. From the moment Shuimu took the bottle of red potion, it already meant that he would die. Go to hell, Naruto. Mizuki let out a roar. Swish. His whole body turned into an afterimage and rushed towards several nearby Naruto clones. Bang, bang, bang. Between the punches and kicks, Naruto's shadow clones couldn't keep up with Mizuki's speed. The shadow clones were hit by Mizuki one after another and disappeared into clouds of white smoke. Mizuki was like a tiger charging into a pack of wolves, shuttling back and forth between Naruto's shadow clone. No. 900. No, what was it that Mizuki just took? How could it be so powerful? I don't know, but at this rate, Naruto seems to be in danger. Should we take action to save Naruto? Wait a little longer and continue to check the situation. 2 Anbu ninjas hid among the trees, looking down at the movement below. The 2 of them were ordered by the 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen to spy on Naruto. But at the same time, if something happened to Naruto, the 9-tailed Jinchuriki, they would not have a good life. Ha ha ha, Naruto, aren't you very powerful? Come on, confront me head on. Mizuki raised his head and let out a roar. The feeling of mastering power after taking the potion made him feel like he could kill an elephant with one punch. In just such a short period of time, more than 900 Naruto shadow clones had been killed by Mizuki, and more than 200 of them had been killed. Naruto gave Mizuki a speechless look and scolded. Originally, I wanted to see you destroy yourself, but your current self-righteous attitude makes me feel very unhappy, Grandpa. So, I decided to beat the shit out of you. As he spoke, Naruto clenched his fists, gritted his teeth, and exerted force on his 5 senses. 8-door Dunjia opened the door first, open. Through the system's reproduction ability, the 8-gate Dunjia and Flying Thunder God techniques are now familiar to Naruto. The only possible problem is that Naruto's physical training is not comprehensive enough, and turning on the 8 gates dungeon will put a greater burden on the body. But compared to Rock Lee and Metkai, Naruto has a special advantage. Because he is from the Uzumaki clan. Although the bloodline of Naruto's Uzumaki clan is not pure. But he also inherited the powerful vitality of the Uzumaki clan bloodline and the huge chakra energy. Supported by the powerful vitality of the Uzumaki clan's bloodline, Naruto's body is several times stronger than the average person. Therefore, 8-gate Dunjia is a perfect physical technique for Naruto. 8-door Dunjia, the second closed door, open. The 3rd birth gate, open. When the 3rd gate was opened, a layer of dark green energy on the surface of Naruto's body kept rushing out. The orange sportswear was blown up, and the yellow hair was blown up. Nani, how is this possible? Naruto actually used the 8-gate dungeon. The tiger-faced masked ninja took off his mask, revealing a surprised face, and looked at his companions. The bare-faced masked ninja's throat rolled, and he swallowed hard. I once heard the 3rd-generation master mention that 8-gate Dunjia is a very demanding physical skill. If you want to learn and use the 8-door Dunjia, your body must be several times stronger than ordinary people. And if a person wants to cultivate his body to a very strong level, he can only do it through hard physical training every day. But Naruto, he just got the Book of Ceilings, why was he able to master the 8 gates dungeon so quickly? The tiger-faced masked ninja looked confused. Ask me, who the hell am I asking, is Naruto really a genius? After watching the 8-gate dungeon and multiple shadow clone, he learned it immediately. While the 2 Anbu were eating melon online, Mizuki had already moved and was fighting with Naruto. Bang bang bang, both of them were reaching their limit, turning into 2 afterimages, constantly colliding and fighting back and forth. Mizuki's current strength was entirely due to the failed potion left by Orochimaru, which overdrawn his life force in advance. Naruto, on the other hand, relied on the green steam that opened the 8-gate Dunjia to increase his speed and strength to the limit. Bang bang bang. The two of them clashed and fought back and forth for several rounds, but neither could do anything to defeat the other. Nani, what's going on? Mizuki felt a twitching pain coming from his body, and the pain made his facial features twist together. The effects of excessive overdraft of vitality on the body have begun to appear. Damn it, what happened to this guy Naruto? Why did he suddenly become so strong? Mizuki gritted his teeth, having already made up his mind that he must use all his strength in the next blow to kill Naruto in one fell swoop. Mizuki, I will kill you with one blow next. A confident smile appeared on Naruto's lips. After the experiment just now, Naruto found that the limit that his body can bear now is, at most, the third door to life. Discomfort spread throughout the body, with slight swelling and pain in the meridians and muscles. But I never deliberately strengthened my physical training, but I was able to open the third door from the beginning. It can be seen how strong Naruto's body is relying on the power of his blood. HMPH. This is what I want to say to you. You will die from the next blow. Mizuki let out a loud shout, exerted force on his feet suddenly, and turned into an afterimage and rushed towards Naruto. Naruto was not in a hurry. He reached into the ninja bag on his waist and took out 3 kunai, sandwiching them between his fingers. Swoosh, swoosh. As Naruto waved his hand, the kunai flew towards Mizuki's face with the sound of breaking through the air. TCH, just dream, you want to attack me like this. Mizuki let out a soft cry of disdain, twisted his body slightly to the side, and avoided the kunai's attack. Shoo, the Flying Thunder God technique activates. Naruto's body disappeared from where it was. The next moment, he appeared beside Mizuki. Die! Naruto let out a loud roar, raised his fist and hit Mizuki hard on the head. Bang! What? Mizuki's cheek was twisted and twisted by the punch, his teeth flew out, and he let out a scream. Immediately, his body flew sideways like a cannonball. Kacha! 2 or 3 large trees as thick as thighs were knocked down by Mizuki's strong body. Naruto stepped hard on the ground with both feet, and the speed of the third life gate reached its limit. Whoosh! Just as Mizuki landed, Naruto arrived in front of him again. Sitting on Mizuki's body, he raised his fist and kept hitting Mizuki's face. Bang bang bang! Dense fist shadows fell like raindrops. After a while, Mizuki's tiger face turned into a pig face. He could only let Naruto beat him while he was dying, without any strength to resist. The 2 Anbu ninjas hiding nearby almost had their jaws dropped in shock. The bare-faced masked ninja swallowed hard and stammered, Ryosuke, what kind of ninjutsu did that guy Naruto use? Did you see it? The tiger-faced masked ninja's eyes widened and he trembled. It seems, it's the Flying Thunder God, right? The bare-faced masked ninja nodded vigorously. Can anyone really be so perverted? After reading the Book of Ceilings once, I actually learned the 3 forbidden techniques above. By the way, Naruto will never use them again. Come up with some forbidden techniques. The 2 Anbu ninjas were made somewhat suspicious of life. Since when have forbidden arts become like Chinese cabbage, something you can just learn if you just want to learn them? Ha, ha, figures outside the trees flashed one after another, as if many ninjas were approaching. The leading person was Yumino Iruka. His face was full of worry and he kept looking around. Behind Iruka, there were also many familiar figures, including Yamashiro Aoba, Ebisu, Gangzi Tetsu, etc. Originally, Iruka had always had a grudge against Naruto because he was a Kyuubi. Until this morning, after the third Hokage gave Iruka some advice. Only then did Iruka understand that Naruto was also so pitiful. Like him, he had been alone since he was a child. In order to attract others' attention, he often did stupid things. Knowing that Naruto was induced by Mizuki to steal the sealed book, Iruka was filled with worry. As that, Naruto, come on, they're over there. Suddenly, Iruka's eyes suddenly lit up, and he sped up and ran towards Naruto's direction. It's done. Naruto stood up from Mizuki, rubbed his sore fists, and cancelled the 8-gate dungeon state. Although there was a slight swelling and pain in the muscles and meridians of the body, such a small injury was really nothing to Naruto. Naruto, why would you do such a thing? Iruka shouted loudly and rushed forward quickly, wanting to teach Naruto a lesson. But when he saw Mizuki, who had been beaten into a pig's head, and Mizuki's skin that had become full of wrinkles, he suddenly stopped and froze in place. Is this Mizuki? How could this happen? Yamashiro Aoe stepped forward, squatted down and felt Mizuki's breath. This must be Mizuki, but he is dying. Saying that, Yamashiro Aoba turned to look at Naruto and asked doubtfully, Naruto, Mizuki was beaten like this by you, right? Naruto nodded without hesitation. Yes, he kept shouting in my ears, and I beat him when I saw that he was unhappy. Nani? When Naruto said these words, the other ninjas present almost made their eyes pop out. What do you mean? You're just a guy who can't even graduate from a ninja school. How can you beat a Chunin level Mizuki like this? Do you really think that these Chunin present are all big punching bags, ready to be beaten by you? Uruka frowned, and still asked in disbelief. Naruto, stop talking nonsense, tell me quickly, what is going on, why Mizuki became like this, and what is the sealing book now? Where? Naruto felt helpless for a moment and spread his hands, not wanting to explain too much. I tell you the truth, but you don't want to believe it, so what should you do? Fortunately, at this time, the two Anbu ninjas who had been hiding in the dark jumped down from the top of the tree. Uruka, Aoki, don't press Naruto. What he just said is right. Mizuki was indeed beaten like this by him. The bare-faced masked ninja stepped forward, took off his mask, and looked at a few people. Nani, how is this possible? Uruka, Aoki and the others said in unison, eyes full of disbelief. But even with the Anbu personnel here, it was impossible for them to help Naruto cheat, so this news made them feel incredible. The bare-faced masked ninja nodded. You don't have to doubt that, Ryosuke and I just passed by here and saw with our own eyes the battle between Naruto and Mizuki. As he said that, the bare-faced masked ninja looked at Naruto with admiring eyes. Naruto is such a rare genius. He has actually learned multiple shadow clones, flying thunder gods, and 8 gates. Dunjia, 3 complex forbidden arts. Nani, Uruka, Aoki and the others exclaimed, all of them with shocked faces, covering their cheeks with their hands, almost losing their balance and falling to the ground. While several people were talking, several tiger-faced Anbu ninjas stepped forward and took out the scroll of the sealed book from between the trees. Seeing that his companions had taken back the scroll, the bare-faced Anbu ninja nodded towards the few people. Then, you should deal with Mizuki first. As for Naruto, let's go back to meet the 3rd generation first, and see the 3rd generation. How are you going to handle this matter? Naruto held the back of his head with his hands and smiled indifferently. I guess the 3rd generation old man won't deal with me. It's too late for him to be happy. As a time traveler, Naruto really knew some details of this scroll-stealing incident. Danzo Shimura sent people to maliciously spread the news, telling the villagers that Naruto was the Kyuubi, but deliberately concealed his identity as the son of the 4th Hokage. Sarutobi Hiruzen acted too weakly and allowed Danzo to do whatever he wanted, but this also made Naruto's life extremely difficult for more than 10 years, and he was always looked down upon and disliked. The Book of Sealed Scrolls has always been protected by a barrier, and there are a large number of Anbu guards around it. How could someone with Naruto's strength be able to steal it at will? This time Naruto stole the Book of Sealed Scrolls, which was arranged by Sarutobi Hiruzen. The main reason is to be able to get rid of Mizuki, the traitor hiding in the dark. On the other hand, Hiruzen Sarutobi had some sense of conscience and wanted to make some compensation to Naruto. In the woods, the two Anbu took the scrolls and ducked away. Gang Ziti and Shancheng Qingye also carried Mizuki's dying body and walked out of the woods. Why does Mizuki's body accelerate aging? What are the secrets of the ingredients in the medicine he takes? These must be studied by medical personnel before the results can be obtained. Uruka's eyes trembled slightly as he looked at Naruto. He did not expect that Naruto, a guy who had always made him feel complicated and conflicted, would grow to this point in just half a day. If the news that the Anbu ninja just said is correct, then Naruto's current strength has changed dramatically from before, and his future is limitless. Naruto noticed Uruka's gaze and shuddered in discomfort. Uruka-sensei, why are you looking at me like that? Hearing this, Uruka came back to his senses, walked up and patted Naruto on the shoulder. Haha, Naruto, congratulations on not being seduced by Mizuki and keeping the sealed book safe. Let's go. Uruka-sensei invites you to eat ramen. Even before they came here, Iruka and others already knew about Mizuki's attempt to seduce Naruto in order to obtain the sealed book. Naruto nodded. Okay, I happen to be hungry too. Naruto office building. Sarutobi Hiruzen sat at his desk, his face full of surprise. What? You are not mistaken, are you? Naruto has learned Flying Thunder God in 8-Gate Dungeon. The two Anbu ninjas looked at each other and nodded at the same time. The bare-faced masked ninja said, Sandaime-sama, you can't be wrong. Ryusuke and I saw this with our own eyes. Sarutobi Hiruzen was stunned for a long time, and finally a smile appeared on his face. Haha, okay, Naruto finally did not disappoint me. Although I don't understand why Naruto has such a powerful talent, he can learn 3 forbidden techniques just by reading the scroll. But Sarutobi Hiruzen was still very happy. The plan he specially arranged to compensate Naruto had achieved results beyond expectations. The fourth Hokage, Namikaze Minato, relied on the ninjutsu of Flying Thunder God to dominate the ninja world and gained the title of Yellow Flash. After the 4th generation Minato, no one could learn the space ninjutsu of Flying Thunder God. Now, Naruto has not only learned the Flying Thunder God, but he has also learned the 8-Gate Dunjia. He is simply a person who is better than his master. Sarutobi Hiruzen has made up his mind that in the next few days, he only needs to give Kakashi good instructions and brainwash Naruto with the will of fire. By binding Naruto and Konoha together, Naruto will definitely become a pillar of Konoha in the future. Okay, I know everything. You two go down first and call Kakashi to me. Thinking of this, Sarutobi Hiruzen gave an order to the two Anbu. Yes, 3 generations of adults. The two Anbu ninjas nodded in agreement and disappeared from the spot. The sun sets slowly from the top of the mountain, and the evening of the day has arrived. Outside Yale Ramen Restaurant, 2 figures, one tall and one short, opened the curtain at the door and sat down in front of the counter. Naruto, just order whatever flavor of ramen you want. I'm treating you today. Iruka narrowed his eyes with a smile, patted his chest and spoke boldly to Naruto. Okay, Iruka-sensei. Naruto smiled evilly, then turned to look at the ramen uncle who was busy behind the counter. Uncle, I'll start with 10 bowls of barbecued pork noodles and 5 bowls of beef noodles to cushion my stomach. Okay, no problem, the ramen man said with a smile on his face, and he still understood Naruto's big stomach. In order to satisfy his appetite, Naruto once deliberately saved a month's living expenses without spending it. It was not until the end of the month that he came to eat all at once and ate 1 bowl of ramen. At that time, Uncle Ichiraku and his daughter Iris were both stunned, looking at Naruto's round belly with incredible expressions on their faces. Nani? Iruka's eyes almost popped out of his head. A bowl of ramen costs 60 taels, and 15 bowls of ramen costs 900 taels. Good guy, Naruto is going to eat up his food expenses for a week. Naruto chuckled and joked. What's wrong, Iruka-sensei, didn't you bring enough money? Otherwise, I'd better eat less. Iruka scratched his head in embarrassment. No, Naruto, just eat it, the teacher can still afford it. Iruka is usually frugal and doesn't have any special living expenses. He has saved a lot of savings with his monthly salary from teaching. While waiting for the noodles to be served, Naruto kept his eyes on Uncle Ichiraku and looked at him carefully. You know, Uncle Ichiraku is a person that many Naruto fans are confused about. The so-called Otsutsuki Ichiraku. Is this title true? Is he really the Otsutsuki clan who has been hiding in Konoha for many years? Uncle Ichiraku was busy for a while, and also noticed Naruto's unabashed gaze, as if he wanted to see the essence through the phenomenon, and took off his clothes to look at him. Uncle Ichiraku suddenly felt terrified and stammered, Naruto, don't stare at me like that. I'll just put in more barbecued pork and beef for you later. Naruto coughed twice in embarrassment. Okay, remember to double the amount. I don't know whether it was because Uncle Yale concealed it well or because Naruto's eyes were not sharp enough, but after looking at it for a while, he couldn't see anything. Iruka turned to look at Naruto with a hint of apology in his eyes. Naruto, no matter what, I was indeed a little too harsh on you before. Teacher is here to say sorry to you. Naruto was stunned for a moment, turned to look at Iruka's sincere eyes, and was slightly touched in his heart. Perhaps it was affected by Naruto's own emotions, but this kind of look was simply too rare, and he had never seen it before. Naruto smiled awkwardly. Don't say that, Mr. Iruka, you didn't do anything wrong. I did fail the test today. I can't blame you. Iruka shook his head and said, No, Naruto, I'm not talking about what happened today. What I mean is that I shouldn't have treated you differently before. Regardless of all identities, you are also my student, and you are also a victim. Bye. As he said that, Iruka's eyes showed a touch of relief. Naruto, no matter what, the teacher is still here to congratulate you for being able to learn Flying Thunder God and 8-Gate Dungeon. Teacher, I heard that these two techniques are very powerful. Your achievements in the future will be limitless. Naruto shook his head slightly. Hey, Mr. Iruka, don't say that. You praise me so much that I feel embarrassed. Iruka raised his hand and rubbed Naruto's head, his eyes full of tenderness. Naruto, you deserve to be praised, because you are really outstanding now. No matter what, you must become an outstanding person in Konoha in the future. Just like what you often said before, being the Hokage is your dream. I believe you will succeed. Naruto's eyes trembled slightly, perhaps because Iruka's tenderness and sincerity moved Naruto's heart, and his eyes became moist unconsciously. Naruto, you are a little man now, don't shed tears easily. Seeing Naruto's appearance, Iruka patted his head affectionately again. Immediately, Iruka raised his hand and took off his Konoha ninja forehead protector and handed it to Naruto. Congratulations, you officially graduated today and became a ninja in Konoha. Iruka-sensei. Naruto was slightly confused, raised his hand to take the ninja forehead protector, and didn't know what to say for a moment. It can be seen that Iruka's eyes are very sincere, and he has really accepted Naruto from the bottom of his heart. Iruka-sensei, I'm sorry, becoming Hokage is no longer my dream. I'm afraid I'm going to disappoint you, because I have already lost confidence in this seemingly peaceful and beautiful Konoha. Naruto murmured silently in his heart, but the idea of betraying Konoha was not shaken by this. The most fragments of memories that remain in my mind are the looks of disgust and disgust from adults every time I pass by on the way to school. And every time on the way home from school, the parents who came to pick up their children from school would pull their children away from Naruto intentionally. It made Naruto look like a god of plague, like a naturally ominous body that would bring bad luck if he got even close to it. Naruto in the original work grew up in such an environment, but was still able to maintain a positive and optimistic heart, perhaps because of the influence of Asura's bloodline. But the current Naruto is already different from the past, just because he is now a time traveler. Naruto, Mr. Iruka, the ramen is ready. You two can use it slowly. At this time, the ramen uncle's daughter Iris put 2 extra large bowls of ramen on the table. Thank you, Sister Calamus. Naruto smiled and said hello. His eyes stayed on Iris's face for a few seconds before he picked up his chopsticks and started eating noodles. When I watched anime before, I always thought Iris was very good looking. Now after witnessing it with his own eyes, Naruto's idea was confirmed. Iris is really beautiful, and it should be more than enough for a handsome guy like Kakashi. Shish, shish, the sound of slurping ramen kept ringing in front of the counter. Uncle Ichiraku Ramen's craftsmanship is truly outstanding. He traveled to many villages in the ninja continent before collecting and researching the ramen seasoning formula. Ah, so full. After 15 bowls of ramen, Naruto patted his round belly with a satisfied look on his face. Naruto, you are really good at eating. Iruka originally thought Naruto would waste food, but he was surprised when he saw him finish it all. Naruto chuckled. Iruka-sensei, actually, with my appetite, I can have 5 more bowls. Nani. While I was eating ramen, the evening had long passed and the sky gradually fell into darkness. After saying goodbye to Iruka, Naruto walked straight towards where he lived. After returning home, I simply washed up and went to bed early. Jingle bell. The next day, the bedside alarm rang, awakening Naruto, who was still immersed in a sweet dream. Ah, ha, system, sign me in quickly. I yawned and sat up. The first thing I did was to ask the system to sign in. It happens once a day, and the opportunity can't be missed easily. Ding. Congratulations to the host, you have received weekend sign in reward 1, non-attribute ninjutsu, Rasengan, reward 2, wind release, fierce wave. As the system's Lolita sound played, two groups of light flew out of the virtual interface and merged into Naruto's body. In an instant, the sealing techniques of the two ninjutsus of the Rasengan and the fierce wave, as well as the precautions, were displayed in Naruto's mind one by one. I got the Rasengan and a wind release ninjutsu. That's okay. System, you're not that useless. A smile appeared on Naruto's lips, quite satisfied with this sign in reward. In the early stage, the Rasengan is a very powerful ninjutsu. Even his father, the fourth Hokage, Namikaze Minato, relied on these two techniques to show off in the ninja world and gained his yellow shining name. Nowadays, Naruto is not fully proficient in controlling the flying thunder god, and he must practice more in the days to come. After getting up and briefly washing up, he put on his iconic orange Uzumaki clan costume, opened the door and walked down the stairs. It was just dawn at this time, and there were very few pedestrians passing by on the street downstairs. Only the occasional ninja appeared running and jumping on the roof of the house, as if they were busy going back to complete the handover work. There are also restaurant owners who get up early and work in front of their own stoves to make breakfast. "Boss, bring me a basket of steamed buns." A young couple stopped in front of a bun shop and called out to the shopkeeper in the back room. "Hey, here you go, what kind of stuffing do you want to eat?" Inside the bun shop stood a middle-aged man who was making dough. He walked out of the room with a smile and greeted him warmly. 3 meat buns and 2 xiaolongbao. Okay. Naruto passed by the steamed bun shop and smelled the aroma of steamed buns when the steamer was opened, and couldn't help but swallow. Although he ate a lot last night, Naruto was still growing up after all. In addition to the fight with Mizuki yesterday afternoon, activating the 8 gates Dunjia consumed a lot of money, and more than 10 bowls of ramen had already been consumed. "Boss, bring me 2 drawers of xiaolongbao." Naruto walked up the front path. "Hey, come on." The boss, who just walked into the back room, gave a warm greeting and walked out of the room twisting his fat body. But when he saw it was Naruto, the enthusiastic smile on his face suddenly froze, and then he turned into a cold face. "If you don't want to sell it, you can leave." After saying that, the fat man was not ready to pay attention to Naruto anymore, turned around and walked towards the back room. Naruto's face also turned cold. He pointed at the back of the young couple just now and asked, "Why don't you sell it? Why can they buy your buns just now?" The fat boss's look of disgust was all too familiar to Naruto. In the past 10 years of life, Naruto had faced such looks almost every day. "If I don't sell you, I won't sell you. Why are you calling me? Get out of here, or I'll beat you up, you damn demon fox." The fat boss turned around, glared at Naruto with disgust, turned around and continued walking towards the back room. "Haha, that's awesome. Then come here and give me a try, you fat pig." Naruto scolded back unceremoniously. Naruto now doesn't have the kindness he had before. As a time traveler, he also has reservations about his violent temper. It is impossible for him to be as kind as the original Naruto, let alone accept such differential treatment. Ding. It is detected that the host is being bullied by villagers. Please make the following choices. Option 1. Smash the stall of the bun shop owner and get the reward, Earth Escape Ninjutsu Heart Beheading. Option 2. Kill the bun shop owner immediately and get the reward, Fire Escape Ninjutsu Ashes Burning. At this moment, the system's beep sounded in Naruto's mind, making him slightly startled. Just buying a steamed bun triggers the optional task. Both options provide one type of ninjutsu each. Naruto himself also has 5 ninjutsu attributes, and can use any ninjutsu attribute. When practicing the wind release spiral shuriken in the original work, the reason why Kakashi used test paper to test Naruto's wind release attribute was because Naruto's wind release attribute was the strongest. Ashes accumulated and beheaded in the heart. System, I choose option 1, smash the bun shop owner's stall. Naruto simply thought about it and chose the first option. The ninjutsu level of Weijiu is obviously much higher than that of heart beheading. Moreover, Naruto was not very kind-hearted and had a kind heart towards the bun shop owner. At this time, there must be Anbu ninjas monitoring Naruto. Naruto was not planning to defect to Konoha immediately, so he couldn't do anything too outrageous, otherwise it would definitely alert the 3rd generation and Danzo. "Hey, you damn demon fox, you actually dare to talk back, let's see if I don't beat you today. The provoked bun shop owner felt a surge of anger in his heart. When Kyuubi attacked the village many years ago, his house was also destroyed, so the bun shop owner naturally only had hatred for Naruto. While he was talking, he picked up a rolling pin on the table, moved his fat body, swung the stick and hit Naruto. Naruto turned sideways to avoid the blow from the stick, raised his foot and kicked him in the crotch. I'll give you a kick that will cut off your descendants' legs. Bang! Ouch! A scream like a slaughtering pig rang out, causing the few pedestrians around to look sideways. The bun shop owner felt that his balls were almost broken. His facial features were twisted together in pain, and he covered his crotch with both hands. He fell to the ground and kept twisting his body. On the roof not far away, two Anbu in bear face mask and tiger face mask were squatting on it, with only one head exposed. Hearing the scream from the bun shop owner, the two of them couldn't help but frown, and subconsciously raised their hands to rub their crotches. Naruto is too cruel. Why do I feel like he is a different person from before? Who says it's not the case? In the past, when Naruto saw these villagers, he was always submissive, but now Naruto is simply arrogant. While the two were muttering, Naruto picked up the rolling pin that fell on the ground in front of the bun stall below, and started beating the steamer and stove on the stall in front of him. There was a ping ping pong pong sound, and the bun shop stall was smashed to pieces. Hey, that guy Naruto, isn't this going a little too far? Should we stop him? Let's forget it and let him go. We'd better not cause any trouble. Bear Mask and Tiger Mask muttered. They had been responsible for monitoring Naruto for several years. Over the years, they had watched Naruto encounter all kinds of cold looks and ridicule, and they knew in their hearts that Naruto had suffered a lot. However, these two people, like other villagers, hate Naruto as the Kyuubi. The reason why he is so scrupulous about Naruto now is because since yesterday, Sarutobi Hiruzen has completely looked at Naruto differently. Prepare to train Naruto to be the next elite ninja. Hearing that Naruto suddenly learned Flying Thunder God and 8-Gate Dungeon, Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes were shining, and even a fool could see how happy he was. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the task of smashing the stall of the bun shop owner, and receiving the reward, Earth Escape Ninjutsu, Hard Beheading. Hearing the system prompt in his mind, Naruto unconsciously smiled. The grievances and pent-up feelings I had suffered over the past 12 years were finally released at this moment. Ouch, woo-woo-woo, you hit someone, there is no justice, everyone is here to judge. The ninja who graduated from the ninja school bullied the people in the village, and smashed all my stalls, there is no justice. Ding ding, the owner of the bun shop finally recovered from the pain from being kicked. When he saw his stall being smashed, he fell on the ground and rolled around, crying and yelling loudly. But when he made a fuss like this, it really worked. The shops on both sides of the surrounding streets, as well as the passers-by, all gathered around at this time, looking at Naruto with disgust in their eyes, accusing Naruto of his faults. Naruto Uzumaki, how can you be so ignorant at such a young age? Not only do you beat people, but you also smash their stalls. That's right, the ninja school trained you not to bully common people like us. I think he's a scumbag. It's true that the evil fox has never changed his nature and only does bad things. For a moment, Naruto became the target of thousands of people. They formed a circle and shouted non-stop, as if they wanted to drown Naruto with their saliva. Bang! Naruto waved the rolling pin in his hand and hit the stove with a heavy thud. Everyone was startled, took half a step back in horror, and stopped accusing Naruto. Naruto glanced at the group of people with cold eyes and said in a deep voice, "You are really amazing. You are so united and know that it is wrong to accuse me from the moral high ground." As he said that, Naruto pointed at the bun shop owner and shouted loudly, "Why don't you ask him if he wants to hit me first? Can't I resist or defend myself and can only let him beat and scold me? And you, these sanctimonious guys, haven't you been less prejudiced against me over the years? Haven't you insulted me and driven me away like this damn fat man? Yes, there is a 9-tailed demon fox living in my body, but are these what I think? Is this something I can decide? What on earth have I done that is so harmful to you? I have graduated from the ninja school now. I now have the strength to no longer be afraid of you, so I don't want to suffer from your arrogance anymore. I'm not afraid to tell you the truth. If you guys dare to continue to abuse me and drive me away in the future, I will return it to you in the same way. I have had enough over the years." With a hysterical roar, Naruto vented all his unhappiness. Didn't they send someone to monitor it? Don't you dislike Jinchuriki and have negative emotions? No matter how you like it, the mark of the Flying Thunder God has been planted in many places, and it is not that easy to catch yourself. The worst case scenario is that he won't stay here anymore and will just find an opportunity to defect. Maybe it was because of Naruto's tough attitude, or perhaps seeing what happened to the fat boss frightened the onlookers. They all retreated in disgrace, turned around and left silently. Seeing that all the people around him who were building momentum for him ran away, the bun shop owner looked at Naruto with even more resentment. He lay on the ground, stared at Naruto and roared incompetently, "You damn demon fox, I will definitely report you to the third generation. You smashed my shop and beat my people, I will definitely let the third generation master hold you tight, you stinky demon fox." Naruto had already turned around and wanted to leave, but when he heard those vicious words coming from behind, he couldn't help but frown, turned around and walked back. What do you want to do? If you hit someone again, I will scream." Seeing Naruto approaching step by step, the bun shop owner had fear in his eyes and kept shrinking back. Smack, smack. Without saying a word, Naruto rushed up with two big slappers and slapped that damn fat man hard on the face. "This is the price you should pay for your foul words. If you dare to continue to curse, then I dare to continue to beat you." Quote. The bun shop owner's cheeks, which were already full of fat, became even more red and swollen. He looked at Naruto with fear in his eyes, probably because he was afraid of being beaten again. "You didn't dare to continue talking for a long time. If you want to report me, just go ahead. If you dare to curse again, you will get more than just 2 slaps. Be careful, I will tear your mouth apart." Naruto glared at the bun shop owner, turned around, and strode away into the distance. Only the boss with a dumbfounded look on his face was left, as well as the crowd who stayed away to watch the fun. "Hey, what's going on? Uzumaki Naruto's annoying demon fox seems to have changed. Who knows, he wasn't so arrogant and domineering before, but now he has taken advantage of the courage of a bear's heart and a leopard's courage. I think it's better not to scold him in front of him in the future. I hate it, but I don't want the shop I've been running for several years to be smashed to pieces by him." Whispering sounds rang out one after another, and the villagers looked at Naruto's leaving figure and pointed, saying anything. But most of them have discovered that Naruto is different now from before, and they have made up their minds in their hearts that they will no longer be able to easily insult and abuse him in front of him in the future. "Oh, it's unreasonable. I smashed the shop and beat someone, and then walked away like that. It's unreasonable." The bun shop owner started acting like a fool again, but this time no one dared to speak for him, they just looked at him with pitiful eyes. On the roof of the house, the two Anbu ninjas looked at each other and saw a hint of surprise in each other's eyes. They did not expect that Naruto would do something so outrageous. The bare-faced Anbu ninja said solemnly, "Ryosuke, I will continue to follow Naruto for surveillance. You should go back quickly and report this matter to the third generation." "I see." On the street, Naruto held the back of his head in his hands and walked forward with rapid strides. There was a smile on his lips, and he was in a good mood. It was so refreshing. I had never experienced the pleasure of revenge. The resentment and anger that had been accumulated in Naruto's heart for many years was relieved a lot. In the past, Naruto was treated differently and bullied by the villagers, but he swallowed it every time, listened to the insults and curses, turned around and walked away silently. Although Naruto is kind-hearted and can silently digest those negative emotions every time, this does not mean that he does not have resentment deep in his heart, it is just that he is forced to keep it. Now this emotion has completely burst out, and there is no better language to explain it except the word, shuang. Naruto stopped buying breakfast and crossed several streets before arriving at a training ground. Today is the day when classes are sorted after graduation from the ninja school, but it's still very early and Naruto is not in a hurry. They jogged 30 laps around the training ground to warm up, and then began intense physical training. 1,000 push-ups, 500 pull-ups, and 1 hour of wooden stake hitting training. These are the physical training sessions to be completed this morning. Although Naruto in the past had the awareness to strengthen his physical training, he did not mainly focus on taijutsu. But now is different from before. Naruto has mastered the 8-gate Dunjia and must completely improve his physical fitness. The daily training intensity must be more than that of Rock Lee, otherwise it would be a waste of the recovery ability of the bloodline of the Whirlpool clan. In the woods outside the training ground, a small head poked out from behind a big tree and looked in Naruto's direction from a distance. Naruto-kun, come on, I will definitely work as hard as you. Hinata's eyes trembled slightly. Seeing Naruto practicing taijutsu so hard, she also made up her mind that she must strengthen her own training in order to catch up with Naruto's pace. From the time Hinata was bullied by other children when she was 4 years old, from the moment Naruto stood up to save her, the name Uzumaki Naruto has been engraved in Hinata's heart. Naruto, who was doing push-ups, raised his head to wipe his sweat when he suddenly noticed the movement in the woods. One jumped up and ran quickly towards that direction. Ah, Naruto-kun. A flash of panic flashed in Hinata's eyes, and she quickly turned around and ran towards the back. She didn't want to be caught by the other party. She didn't know how to explain it then, which would be too embarrassing. Stop, is it Hinata? With the acquisition of the Flying Thunder God and the 8-gate dungeon, Naruto's strength had already made a qualitative leap compared to before. Not long after, he had surpassed Hinata and stood in front of him. In fact, every morning before, Naruto would come to this training ground to practice ninjutsu. And Hinata has long been used to it. She gets up early every morning and comes over here to take a sneak peek at Naruto. But now with the improvement of Naruto's strength, he can discover Hinata's existence so quickly. Ah, Naruto-kun, I didn't mean to come here to see you. Hinata's face turned red and she hesitated to explain, but she didn't expect that her inner thoughts were revealed. Naruto looked at Hinata with smiles in his eyes, and looked at her flushed face, and couldn't help but feel fondness in his heart. Such a beautiful and cute girl, so well behaved. Why did Naruto only have eyes for Sakura at the airport and ignore Hinata who had been silently following him behind him? Hinata, are you here to practice too? Do you want to come with me? Naruto smiled and found a topic for Hinata to solve the problem. Ah, is this really okay, Naruto-kun? Hinata blushed and lowered her head. She didn't expect that Naruto would take the initiative to find a place for her to go down, and her affection for Naruto increased even more. Nothing is wrong, let's go, Hinata. Naruto smiled, stepped forward, took Hinata's little hand, and walked towards the training ground outside the woods. Naruto-kun. You. Hinata was at a loss for a moment, and her cheeks turned redder from embarrassment. Facing the bold behavior of the boy she had loved for many years, she felt not only shy and nervous but also a little sweet. Hinata, what the Hyuga clan is best at is the soft fist. I think your main focus is physical training. In the middle of the training ground, Naruto let go of Hinata's little hand, turned back and looked at Hinata with a smile and asked. It was the first time Hinata had such close contact with Naruto, and she became increasingly nervous. She could only feel her little heart pounding. She stammered in reply, yes. Naruto-kun, the Hyuga clan mainly focuses on taijutsu and soft fist acupuncture. Naruto nodded. That's right. Let's start practicing taijutsu now, shall we? Hinata lowered her head and whispered. Okay, Naruto-kun, but I'm afraid it will slow down your progress. In the Naruto office building, Sarutobi Hiruzen sat at his desk, holding a pipe pot in his hand and smoking continuously. Just after he came to work, he heard the news that Naruto beat up the villagers, which made Sarutobi Hiruzen feel a little embarrassed. Naruto had never done something so outrageous before, smashing stalls and beating people. If this kind of thing got too big, it would probably arouse the anger and dissatisfaction of the villagers. He frowned and asked, Ryosuke, is what you just said true? The tiger-faced masked ninja nodded. It's absolutely true, Lord 3 generations. I don't know why, but Naruto seems to be a different person now, with a bad temper. And the bun shop owner is already on his way here. I'm afraid he will come to you to complain later. Sarutobi Hiruzen shook his head helplessly. Oh, this boy Naruto will really cause trouble for me, but now that he has strength, it is inevitable that he will have a temper. As long as Kakashi treats him well in the future he just trains and guides me. In recent years, the surveillance of Jinchuriki Naruto has never been interrupted. Sarutobi Hiruzen has always known some things about Naruto and has a very good understanding of his character. Cheerful, optimistic and positive, with the slogan of becoming Hokage as his dream, he has always inspired himself. Despite being ostracized by the villagers for many years, he has never given up his faith. From this point of view, Sarutobi Hiruzen admired Naruto very much and knew that the will of fire brainwashing in the school had a great effect on Naruto. Now as Naruto's strength has grown, his temper has also grown a lot. Naruto may have gone too far in beating the villagers to teach him a lesson, but this would not make Hiruzen Sarutobi lose confidence in Naruto. What level of ninjutsu is Flying Thunder God? What level of physical skill is 8-Gate Dunjia? There are only a few people in Konoha who can use them. Now that Naruto has mastered these two techniques, his future achievements will definitely be limitless. How could Sarutobi Hiruzen go to war with Naruto over a trivial matter? Dong dong dong. Sandaime-sama, some villagers came to you, saying that Naruto smashed his shop and beat people, and they want to ask you for an explanation. There was a knock on the office door, and a male voice came in from outside the door. Sarutobi Hiruzen said impatiently, I already know about this. I'll allocate some medical expenses for him, and then pay him 3 times the pension according to the price of his shop being smashed. Let him go. The morning sun rises slowly from the top of the mountain. On the 44th training ground, Hinata and Naruto have been sparring for more than an hour. Their foreheads were covered with sweat and they were panting. Pop, there was another fist-to-palm clash, and Naruto stopped fighting. Hinata, that's about it for today. It's almost time to go to the ninja school. Under the intense exercise training, Hinata's little face turned red and she looked very cute. She nodded vigorously. Yes, Naruto-kun, I will listen to you. Hinata mainly practices soft fists. Such sparring with Naruto can only improve her physical skills and is not her best training opponent. But Hinata was still very happy to be able to practice with Naruto. In the past, she only dared to take a look at Naruto from a distance and did not dare to come up and talk to him in person. For some reason, Hinata felt that there was something different about Naruto today. Not only did he show unusual enthusiasm for her, but he also took special care of her when he was practicing taijutsu. Hinata, today is the day to separate classes. Will you still come here to practice with me tomorrow morning? On the way to the ninja school, Naruto turned his head and asked Hinata a question. Hinata was slightly stunned, and after a moment of hesitation, she nodded and agreed, Naruto-kun, it's okay. I'm very happy to be able to practice with you. Looking at Hinata's timid and weak look, Naruto only felt that she was even cuter. Naruto, who has read the original work, knows very well that as Hinata grows step by step in practice, in addition to becoming stronger, her inner strength and resilience have also improved. Take Naruto's Nindo as her own. When pain attacked Konoha, Hinata even rushed to rescue Naruto despite knowing she couldn't defeat him. Who wouldn't like such a beautiful girl who is weak on the outside but strong on the inside? The two of them chatted and slowly rushed to school. The main reason is that Naruto seems to be a familiar person and keeps asking Hinata questions. Hinata blushed shyly and answered in detail. This kind of feeling is really a bit like a man and a woman on their first date, shopping together on the street. Soon, the two arrived at the classroom and sat down in their seats. The students in the class also arrived one after another. As the class bell rang, Iruka walked in from the door with a form in hand. With a smile on his face, he glanced around the students present and said loudly, "Students, congratulations on your successful graduation yesterday. Today is the day when you will be divided into groups. Each class group will be composed of 3 people, and a Jonin teacher will lead you to start the task. I'll read your names and the rank of your class later. It's best for everyone to pay attention." Iruka talked for a long time, and the content was probably an introduction to the next classes, and some words of encouragement. Children aged 4 or 5 will also have a test on whether they can condense chakra before they can enter the ninja school. Only those who can condense chakra can attend ninja school. After going to school for 5 or 6 years, I still need to take the final 3 body skills assessment project. Only by completing all 3 ninjutsus of clone, transformation and substitute can you be qualified to graduate from the ninja school. The class that Naruto is in has 3 to 40 people. After yesterday's graduation assessment, 2/3 of the number have been eliminated. Don't think that the 3-body technique looks simple, but it also requires a certain amount of talent to complete the practice. Naruto was almost kicked out yesterday because he couldn't complete the transformation technique, and was no longer qualified to become a ninja. The 3 levels of class are Uchiha Sasuke, Haruno Sakura, and Uzumaki Naruto. Iruka was on the podium, still reading to the names arranged on the form. Yeah, I'm finally in a group with Sasuke. Sakura almost jumped up in excitement when she heard the news. But when he heard that he and Naruto were in a group, his face instantly fell. Nani, that annoying guy from Naruto, why do you put me in a group with him? In the past, Naruto always pestered Sakura, and even acted stupidly, causing some random encounters on the way to school, which made Sakura feel very bored and even a little disgusted. But what surprised Sakura was that Naruto was surprisingly quiet today and did not shout as usual. She turned to look at Naruto, who was sitting in the seat not far away, but she only received a middle finger raised by him and a roll of his eyes. This made Sakura so angry that the veins on her forehead popped out. Naruto, you are looking for death, how dare you look at me like this? But Iruka was still reading the names of the division groups, so Sakura couldn't get angry. Naruto glanced at Sakura with a wicked smile and ignored her. Now Naruto has no interest in Sakura, so naturally he will not continue to be a licking dog and chase Sakura every day. Hinata doesn't smell good, and Ino doesn't smell good. From now on, they will all be big-breasted girls with good personalities and good tempers. Aren't they much better than Sakura's washboard? The 3 members of class are Hinata, Kiba Inuzuka, and Shino Aburame. The 3 members of class are Akamichi Choji, Nara Shikamaru, and Yamanaka Ino. Ino, who had originally been looking forward to being placed in the same class as Sasuke, had long since given up on this placement. But when she heard that she was grouped with these 2 people, she immediately lay on the table with her head drooped. Why, even if I can't be assigned to the same class as Sasuke-kun, I can be assigned to 2 handsome guys, a big lazy guy and a big fat guy. Why on earth is this, woo-woo-woo? Ino wanted to cry but had no tears. Huh, fatty, fat pig. Choji, who had been stuffing potato chips into his mouth, heard what Ino said and stopped taking out the potato chips. Asshole. Choji's eyes were burning with blazing fire, and he turned to look at Ino behind him. He stood up and wanted to go up and start fighting. Shikamaru on the side quickly grabbed Choji's arm. Hey, Choji, calm down. We are still in class now, so don't act nonsense. Ahaha, Choji, I'm sorry, I wasn't scolding you just now, you must have heard wrong. Ino looked panicked and quickly covered his mouth, waving his hands in embarrassment to apologize. Iruka, who was on the podium, also noticed the movements of the people below and shouted loudly, Choji, Ino, Shikamaru, what are you doing? All of you, please sit down and sit down. We will be assigned to a group in the future. We have to help each other. Yes, Iruka-sensei. Class division is almost complete. Iruka said some more instructions, then took the form and left the classroom. Without the teacher's control, the students' chirping voices resounded in the classroom. After about half an hour, Jonins and teachers came one after another to pick up all the students in their class. An hour later, only Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura were left in the classroom. Naruto was well aware of Kakashi's urinary nature. The guy who loved to be late would not come until a few hours later. So, Naruto simply lay down on the desk and fell asleep. Sakura looked forward to it and moved closer to Sasuke. Sasuke-kun, who do you think the teacher who will lead us will be? Will the person who comes last be the strongest? I don't know. Sasuke crossed his hands and held his chin, and replied in 3 words with an indifferent expression. Sakura's hot face felt cold, but she had no choice but to return to her seat with a deflated look on her face. She turned her head and glared at Naruto in displeasure. What an unruly guy, sleeping here. In the past, Naruto always liked to rush to Sakura's side, which also gave her a perfect sense of superiority. After she felt defeated by Sasuke, she immediately wanted to get back that superior feeling with Naruto. What the hell are you doing? I can sleep whenever I want. Do you care? Naruto raised his head, replied to her unceremoniously, lay back on the desk, and continued to fall asleep. Sakura pointed at Naruto for a long time without saying anything. She had already felt that Naruto was a little weird today, completely different from before. Doesn't he like me anymore? Didn't he follow me and pursue me every day before? Girls are very sensitive. Even if Naruto didn't say anything about his love or confession, Sakura still knew the little tugs in Naruto's heart. But now Naruto suddenly looked like he didn't care about her, which made her feel like she had lost something, and she suddenly felt very uncomfortable. 2 hours later, there were still only Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura in the classroom. Sasuke no longer crossed his arms, and held his chin in that cool posture, leaning lazily on the seat, waiting for the leader to arrive. After Haruno Sakura approached Sasuke several times in a row, she was choked back by his indifferent attitude. She could only lie lazily on the desk, looking in the direction of the classroom door, looking forward to the arrival of the leading teacher. But Naruto was the most outrageous one. Not only did he drool while sleeping, he even snored. 3 hours later, it was almost lunchtime. The 3 people in the classroom were all numb, and the door to the classroom was finally slowly pushed open. Kakashi, who was wearing a mask, poked his head through the crack in the door and greeted everyone with a narrowed smile. Hi, hello. Chapter 11. Teacher, you are late. Haruno Sakura and Sasuke roared at the same time, expressing their dissatisfaction with Kakashi's tardiness. Naruto, who was still sleeping soundly, was awakened by this sound. He raised his head and wiped his saliva. Well, what's wrong? Kakashi looked embarrassed and opened the door and walked into the classroom. Haha, sorry, Konoha is so big, I've been a little lost for a few days. Liar. Haruno Sakura and Sasuke roared again at the same time, and proudly crossed their arms, unwilling to believe such a shabby excuse. Kakashi walked into the classroom slowly, his eyes scanning the 3 of them for a few times before finally settling on Naruto. He muttered secretly, "Is this the teacher's son?" He was called a demon fox by the people in the village, but yesterday he miraculously learned the Flying Thunder God and the 8-Gate Dunjia. Just yesterday, Sarutobi Hiruzen personally summoned Kakashi and told Naruto what happened over the years, as well as what happened yesterday. In this regard, Kakashi also expressed great surprise. At the age of 12, he was able to learn these 2 techniques in a short time. His talent is simply too incredible. Seeing the angry expressions of the little guys, Kakashi scratched his head and said with a smile, Sorry, to make it up to you, I'll treat you to a barbecue. Really? As soon as she heard that there was barbecue, Haruno Sakura's eyes immediately lit up. Of course, eating barbecue is not the focus of her happiness. The focus is to be able to eat with Sasuke. Although it is not a double date, it still makes her happy. TCH, you just want to send us away. Sasuke put on his airs again, crossed his hands and supported his chin, showing an indifferent attitude. Sure enough, he is worthy of being the second pillar of the King of Coercion. His ability to pretend to be coquettish has reached a certain level, and his every move and gesture will be full of coercion. Naruto smirked and said, Teacher, you have to prepare your wallet. I have a big appetite. Kakashi patted his bulging purse, squinted his eyes and said with a smile, Don't worry, you 3 can just eat as much as you want. That's enough. Let's go. Kakashi waved his hand and walked ahead towards the classroom door. The 3 Narutos also stood up and quickly followed Kakashi's footsteps. It's already autumn, and the midday sun is shining on your body, giving you a warm feeling, which is very comfortable. Soon, the 4 members of Kakashi's team crossed several streets and arrived outside a barbecue restaurant. During the meal, several members of Kakashi's team briefly introduced themselves to each other. In fact, Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke all know each other. We have been in the same class for 5 or 6 years, so how could we not be familiar with each other? I don't know how many meetings I have to meet every day when I go to school. Although the exchanges are not too much, we are still relatively familiar with each other. But this self-introduction was specifically requested by Kakashi. That is the set of procedures introduced. For example, your interests, hobbies, likes, dislikes, future dreams, etc. According to Kakashi, this is a process that must be carried out before every new class is formed. Well, one purpose is to have a deeper understanding of each other, and the other is to bring everyone closer together. Ah, so full. Naruto patted his round belly with a satisfied look on his face. In order to kill Kakashi, Naruto specially ate 50 plates of roast beef. It wasn't until he almost vomited that Naruto restrained himself. Naruto, you're going too far. Eat so much. How much will it cost Kakashi-sensei? Sakura glanced at Naruto speechlessly. In fact, she also envied Naruto for being able to eat and drink without restraint without caring about other people's opinions. In order to leave a good impression in front of Sasuke, she just ate a little bit without even filling her stomach. Naruto retorted, "Why do you care so much? Kakashi-sensei has a lot of money, why would he care about such a small amount of money?" Kakashi looked away from the affectionate paradise in his hand and glanced at Naruto. "Ah, yes, do you still want to eat? You can continue if you are not full." Kakashi graduated at the age of 5 and began performing ninja missions. The rewards for ninja missions are very generous. A guy like Kakashi doesn't have any other hobbies. Most of the time is spent going out on ninja missions or practicing. He spent the little time he could squeeze out at home reading pornographic novels. I have money and nowhere to spend it. He may not be able to spend all the mission fees he has accumulated over the years in his lifetime. So, the price of such a small meal is completely worthless to a Junin. This is why Sarutobi Asuma often invites big eaters like Akamichi Choji to eat barbecue without even blinking. Seeing that the little guys had no intention of continuing to eat, Kakashi put away the books in his hands and said in a deep voice, "Okay, let's all go our separate ways and gather at the training ground east of the ninja school tomorrow morning to start your first ninja mission." At this point, Kakashi showed a wicked smile. "Remember, don't have breakfast tomorrow morning, otherwise you will all vomit it out, hehehehe." Looking at Kakashi's evil smile, Sakura couldn't help but look horrified. "Hey, Kakashi-sensei, do you want to take us to work in the cesspool? Why are we vomiting?" Sasuke seemed to have fallen into Kakashi's trick. He swallowed hard and looked nervous. "Are you an idiot, Sakura? Kakashi means that the difficulty level of the mission is very high, so let's not relax." Naruto looked indifferent. He was already familiar with the plot, so he naturally knew what Kakashi was planning. They lied to everyone not to eat breakfast, and then conducted a strong bell assessment to test the tacit understanding of Naruto and the three of them. There is a stupid guy who will be tied to a tree stump and watch the other two companions eating lunch, but they can only starve. Oh, it's a pity that that stupid guy can't be me. Naruto muttered to himself. Kakashi was quite satisfied when he saw the reactions of the little guys. "Then, let's all disband and go back to rest and prepare for tomorrow's mission. Remember, don't eat breakfast, or you may vomit." Kakashi repeated it again, and after speaking, he stood with one hand in front of him to form a seal. Bang! A cloud of white smoke exploded, and Kakashi disappeared. Haruno Sakura approached Sasuke, put her hands behind her back, and asked with a shy smile, "Hey, Sasuke-kun, what are your plans for this afternoon? I want to invite you to go shopping together." Sasuke put on a cold face and waved his hands. "I'm not interested. I don't have time to do those useless things. You'd better go find Naruto and you." After the meal just now, several people became more familiar with each other than before. So Sasuke had no hesitation and pushed the clingy burden of Sakura onto Naruto. When Sakura heard this, she suddenly raised her mouth and said with a look of disdain, "Oh, who wants to go shopping with a guy like Naruto?" Naruto rolled his eyes at her. "Don't worry, I won't go even if you beg me to go. I have to use my time to practice." After saying that, without waiting for the two of them to reply, Naruto opened the door of the private room and walked straight towards the 44th training ground. There is still a whole afternoon today, so we can't waste it in vain. The 8-door Dunjia can only open up to the 3rd door now, which is far from enough. Naruto must strengthen his physical training as soon as possible to increase his physical strength. Naruto must make himself stronger before defecting from Konoha. After all, the Kyuubi is sealed in the body, and the guys in the Akatsuki organization still have the Kyuubi in mind. With Naruto's current strength, if he defected from Konoha, there shouldn't be much problem in protecting himself. All you need to do is make enough flying thunder god marks and fly away when you sense danger. But if they were caught by a duo like the Akatsuki organization, they would probably have no choice but to run away and not have the ability to resist. The days when I was being chased around by people made me feel very unhappy just thinking about it. Therefore, the arrest by the Akatsuki organization was one of the major reasons for not leaving Konoha. As for the rest, one is that Naruto wants to kill that old guy Danzo. If you think about it carefully, you will know that most of the suffering that Naruto has suffered in the past 10 years was caused by Danzo. Danzo secretly sent people to spread the news, so that all the adults in the village knew that Naruto was a nine-tailed demon fox. But Danzo deliberately concealed one thing, and that was Naruto's life experience, the son of the fourth Hokage. To make everyone hate Naruto, it may be that Danzo wants Naruto to collapse so that he can be the next candidate to succeed the Jinchuriki. This can be seen from the time when Tsunade was unconscious after Pain attacked Konoha in the original work. Danzo does have this ambition. His own words were, he doesn't trust the power of the tailed beast in someone else's body. Single quote. In addition, there is one more important reason. What a boring thing it is for a person to defect from Konoha. No matter what, I have to run away with a girl and abduct Hinata smoothly. Now Naruto and Hinata's relationship has just begun to build. He had to wait until the two of them established a relationship before defecting with her. Thinking about these things in his mind, Naruto was back outside training ground 44 before he knew it. It's just afternoon now, when the sun is at its most fierce. But there was a green figure on the training ground, training to walk upside down on the track of the training ground. Green tights, watermelon rind hairstyle, and thick eyebrows. Who else could it be besides Rock Lee? Xiao Li, it's really hard to practice so hard. Naruto walked forward and waved hello to Xiao Li enthusiastically. Xiao Li turned over, cancelled the handstand, wiped the sweat from his forehead, and looked at Naruto blankly. Do you know me? Naruto was stunned by the question. That's right, it's not yet the 12 Xiaoqiang period, and the Rock and Lee trio are one level ahead of the other 9. Therefore, Rock Lee didn't know Naruto at this time. This was a bit embarrassing. Naruto scratched his head, pointed to the road outside the bushes behind him, and said, "Oh. I heard it from an aunt who was passing by just now. She said your name is Rock Lee. I see you are practicing so diligently, so I came over to say hello to you." Rock Lee looked confused. "Aunt? Is it Aunt Zhang who lives next door to me?" He muttered, but soon did not pay much attention to such details, and extended his hand to Naruto in a friendly manner. "Hello, I am Rock Lee, may I ask who you are?" Naruto stretched out his hand and shook the other person's hand. "Hello, I am Uzumaki Naruto, nice to meet you." Rock Lee raised his hand to give a thumbs up, and a golden light flashed through his white teeth. "Naruto-kun, you must have come here to practice. Why don't we come together and burn the sweat of youth together?" Looking at the ninja forehead protector Naruto wore on his forehead, Rock Lee also recognized Naruto's identity as a ninja. "Nani?" Naruto looked confused. What kind of line was this? Sure enough, only an average guy like Metkai could train such an average apprentice. Haha, is it the sweat of youth? Okay, let's practice together. Not wanting to spoil Rock Lee's interest, Naruto nodded and agreed. Anyway, I have to practice myself, and having a companion can also play a role in promoting supervision. Rock Lee began to continue walking upside down. Naruto did not choose to practice in this way and started his customary warm-up run. After that, he started a series of exercises such as push-ups, squats, pull-ups, hitting wooden stakes, and so on. After this afternoon's physical training, Rock Lee's training methods really opened Naruto's eyes. Every hour of his time, he has already fixed which type of training he will do. He doesn't even need to look at his watch. When the time comes, his body will instinctively perform the next training action. You can tell from this alone. Rock Lee has almost integrated physical training into his own bones. He was thinking about training and getting stronger all the time, using this method to push himself. In this regard, Naruto could only sigh helplessly. Oh, it's useless. No matter how hard you practice, you can't compare to those stupid ones. In the world of Naruto, in the end, one almost always relies on the power of blood to become stronger. It is no longer possible for Rock Lee to catch up simply by exercising his body. The afternoon passed quickly. The sun had already set over the mountain, and the sky gradually fell into darkness. Naruto poured the last drop of water from the water bottle into his mouth, stood up and prepared to say goodbye. Well, Xiao Li, how long will you continue to practice? Aren't you going to eat first? Bang! Rock Lee finally kicked the steak again before stopping. He turned back and said to Naruto, "No, Naruto-kun, I still have 1 hour to eat. I still need to practice another 1 whip kicks during this hour, so I can't eat for the time being." Okay then, you continue to complete your training, I'm going to eat first. Naruto nodded, waved goodbye to Rock Lee, turned around and walked towards the outside of the training ground. Although he has the body of a ninja, Naruto has not undergone such intense training before. After a whole afternoon like this, my body has already become very tired. Even the muscles everywhere felt a slight feeling of swelling and pain. Naruto knew that this was his body's warning to him that he had already done enough training today. I thought I would train more intensively than Rock Lee, but I didn't expect that this would have to be a step-by-step process. Naruto muttered helplessly. After all, Rock Lee has been practicing this high-intensity training method for many years. Even though Naruto had the blood support of the Uzumaki clan, he still couldn't catch up in a short period of time. However, these problems are not serious. If you are feeling unwell now, you only need to go back and take a nap, and you will be able to fully recover tomorrow. I bought 2 lunch boxes and finished them at a roadside self-service fast food restaurant. Naruto then turned and walked home. Go into the bathroom and wash away the sweat stains all over your body. Lying on the bed, thinking about the fulfilling process of this day, I felt quite satisfied. Everything is developing in a good direction, and the strength is improving very quickly. Unknowingly, I closed my eyes and fell asleep. Early the next morning, when it was just getting light, the alarm clock on the bedside was already ringing. I made an agreement with Hinata to practice together every morning. This is the only date time every day, and it is only a short period of more than an hour, so I can hook up with this girl Hinata. How can I miss it? Ha! Naruto sat up from the bed, yawned and stretched. System, sign in. Ding. Sign in successfully. Rewards are being distributed to you, please wait. As expected, the rewards for daily sign-in are not very generous, but there is a earth flow wall, which is not bad. Naruto muttered, getting up and putting on his orange sportswear. When I read the original work, there was always a question in Naruto's mind. Why does Naruto always wear that set of clothes? Doesn't he need to change? Until I traveled through time and opened the closet to see. Good guy, in addition to pajamas and daily short-sleeved clothes, this orange sportswear has a total of 6 sets hanging on the hanger. 6 sets of identical clothes, what kind of trouble is this? However, looking back at Naruto's past memories, he had never gone out of his way to buy clothes. It was as if someone had prepared these clothes for him and put them in the wardrobe. Even some milk and instant noodles in the refrigerator are put in regularly. Naruto, who was very nervous, had never paid attention to these problems before. But things are different now. As a time traveler, I am still surprised by these things. In fact, if you think about it carefully, you can also know the reason for this. Naruto was an orphan and lived alone since he was a child. At a very young age, his ability to take care of himself was very limited. And those Anbu ninjas responsible for surveillance should have been ordered by the 3rd-generation old man to help Naruto replenish food and clothes. After all, the orphans in Konoha village do not receive much relief every month, not even more than 1,000 taels. With such a small amount of money, it is not enough just for eating, let alone replenishing daily clothes. Moreover, Naruto's childhood was so miserable, Sarutobi Hiruzen still felt a little bit sorry in his heart. These small acts of kindness could be regarded as Sarutobi Hiruzen making up for the guilt and regret in his heart. As for why Naruto was given 6 sets of the same orange sportswear, you can tell just from the Crimson Uzumaki clan symbol on the back of the clothes. This represents a family symbol. Just like the light blue short-sleeved suit that Sasuke always wears, it also has a large Uchiha clan logo on the back. Although the Uzumaki clan and the Uchiha clan have declined, the ninjas always have a nostalgia for the past. I want to continue to carry forward these family honors that have made great contributions to the village. Naruto walked to the refrigerator, opened the door, took out milk and bread. After a brief breakfast, he walked straight towards Fang Zai's place at the training ground. Number 44 Training Ground. A small figure had already arrived early. She stood on the edge of the runway and looked towards the outer road from time to time. Pure white eyes, short black hair, hands folded in front of him, 2 fingers twirling in circles. Thinking of being able to see Naruto more often in the future, Hinata felt so happy that a blush appeared on her face unconsciously. Over the years, Hinata often thinks back to what happened when she was 4 years old. It was a snowy afternoon. Hinata was attracted by the beautiful scenery of heavy snow outside, and ran out to play with the Hyuga clan alone. Unexpectedly, on the way, she was blocked by several children from the same village, who laughed at her as a white-eyed monster. Hinata is kind-hearted and naturally doesn't want to argue too much with those children. But being insulted and ridiculed like this made Hinata feel very aggrieved and sad. Fortunately, Naruto appeared at that time. Naruto used his not-so-strong body to stand in front of Hinata. Not only did he come to Hinata's rescue, he even praised Hinata's beautiful eyes. The price for standing up was that Naruto was beaten black and blue by several opponents, and even Naruto's favorite red scarf. He was also trampled on the ground by the opponent, and was torn into pieces. From that time on, Naruto's figure has been deeply imprinted on Hinata's heart. Later, when she entered the ninja school and watched Naruto chasing after Sakura all day long, Hinata also knew that Naruto had fallen in love with Sakura. Although she felt disappointed in her heart, she still did not disturb him and just watched Naruto silently from a distance. Naruto-kun, don't worry, no matter what, I will always be behind you to support you. Hinata muttered in her heart, a happy smile appeared on her lips. Naruto's deliberate approach yesterday made her feel very happy. Although this is a little different from Naruto's usual personality, no matter what, it is Naruto. Hey, Hinata, what are you doing in a daze? I've been calling you for a long time and you still haven't responded. Naruto's voice sounded. Not far away, Naruto came from the path and said hello with a smile on his face. Ah, Naruto-kun, good morning. Turning to look at Naruto, Hinata's cheeks blushed again. Good morning, Hinata, when did you come? Naruto smiled and narrowed his eyes. Looking at this shy and cute girl, he felt very fond of her. The feeling is like a flower blooming in the heart, which makes people very happy unconsciously. Maybe it was the world in my previous life where female boxingism was too serious. Naruto now has completely lost any ability to resist a cute girl like Hinata. Hinata lowered her head, and the speed of circling her fingers became faster. I haven't been here long, I just arrived. Naruto-kun, have you had breakfast? Naruto smiled and nodded. Well, eat, how about you? Hinata also nodded. I ate too, then let's start training. There are not too many gorgeous verbal exchanges, and there are not too many sweet exchanges. But as the two eyes looked at each other, they seemed to have felt each other's feelings. Sometimes there is a common magnetic field in the interactions between men and women. Under the gravity of this magnetic field, there is no need to say too much to make each other feel comfortable. And that sweet feeling in my heart is the taste of love. Naruto and Hinata are in this state now. Every fist-to-palm exchange is very serious, but I feel very happy because I can train with the opponent. Jogging to warm up, physical training, wooden stake hitting. The time in the morning was limited, but Naruto still took Hinata to do a complete set of physical training. Naruto-kun, I'm very happy to train with you, but it's getting late now, and I have to rush to teacher Hong's place to gather. Hinata blushed and said goodbye to Naruto. Well, okay, it's almost time for me to go to class. Naruto nodded with a smile. While speaking, Naruto suddenly raised his hand and helped Hinata wipe the fine beads of sweat on her forehead. Naruto-kun, you. The sudden intimacy made Hinata's cheeks blush even more, spreading to the base of her neck. Naruto-kun, I am willing, Hinata muttered inwardly. Her eyes trembled slightly, and she mustered up the courage to look up at Naruto, with some expectation in her eyes. Naruto scratched the back of his head and showed a naive smile. Hey, Hinata, autumn is coming soon, be careful not to catch a cold, and remember to drink more hot water. The purpose of the scheming boy is achieved, which is to make physical contact with girls intentionally or unintentionally, so as to shorten the distance between them. Single quote. I bought this on Pinshishi for a huge price of 99 yuan with free shipping. It is a trick from the secret book of picking up girls. Judging from Hinata's shy appearance, this method may have worked. Ha 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 ha, who said that what Pinshishi sells are all fakes? Isn't this very practical? Naruto was ecstatic inside. Nani, would you like to drink more hot water? Hinata's face froze slightly, and the corners of her mouth twitched. Drink more hot water. Why does this sentence sound so unpleasant? The light of expectation in his eyes faded, and a flash of disappointment flashed unconsciously. Sure enough, he was still the same stupid Naruto as before, and he didn't understand girls' thoughts at all. Hinata nodded. Well, Naruto-kun, don't worry, I will take care of myself. Goodbye. After saying that, Hinata turned towards the outside of the training ground and trotted away. Naruto wiped the sweat from his forehead and walked in the other direction. Outside a mountainous suburb east of the ninja school, Haruno Sakura and Uchiha Sasuke had arrived at their destination early. This is where Kakashi told us to gather. After hearing how serious Kakashi said the matter was yesterday, both of them thought it should be taken seriously. Came here early to wait. Hi, good morning. After a while, Naruto walked slowly over from the road in the distance, waving and greeting the two of them. Naruto was in a good mood today, so he seemed particularly enthusiastic. Naruto, did you come here because you were stuck? It's time to gather in 5 minutes. A vein popped out on Sakura's forehead. I felt a little unhappy about Naruto's special behavior. Naruto shrugged indifferently. What are you anxious about? I'm here right now. Besides, there's still one person who's not here. Upon hearing this, Sakura and Sasuke looked at each other, recalling Kakashi's late behavior yesterday, and they had a vague premonition in their hearts. Naruto ignored the two of them and walked past them, found a large flat stone, jumped on it and lay down. Kakashi has an addiction to being late and cannot play his cards according to the usual routine. Instead of just standing there and waiting, it's better to lie down and take a good rest. Ah, it's so comfortable. Naruto opened his arms and stretched. The morning sun pours down on the body, giving people a warm feeling, which is also very comfortable. Sakura turned back and glared at Naruto, saying speechlessly, Naruto, are you going too far? You will be scolded later. Naruto's lazy voice sounded. You are not a class leader now, so you can't control such a little thing. These words choked Sakura, leaving her speechless for a moment. Sasuke also looked back at Naruto and shook his head helplessly. Obviously, he did not agree with Naruto's approach. But 2 hours later, at 9 o'clock, Sakura and Sasuke instantly knew what true fragrance was. That guy Kakashi is so shameless, he's always late for hours. In the midst of lamentations and complaints, the two of them finally chose to compromise, found a place, and sat down next to each other. I haven't had breakfast in the first place, so standing there for an hour or two, just waiting for someone to show up, is a very tortuous thing, isn't it? Ha, ha. Finally, a figure jumped and flashed out from a distance, and finally stopped in front of the three people. Ah, I'm sorry, I just helped an old lady cross the road on the road, so I'm late. Kakashi smiled slightly and waved hello. Liar. Sakura and Sasuke let out a growl of disapproval. He looked like he was about to eat people, as if he was a true descendant of Iruka. Naruto heard the movement and jumped up from the big rock, standing next to Sasuke with an indifferent look on his face. Just wait, it's just a nap, there's nothing wrong with replenishing your strength. Then, let me explain to you the content of today's mission. With a shameless look on his face, Kakashi completely ignored Sakura and Sasuke's dissatisfaction and forced the conversation to the next step. So, the three Narutos stood together and listened quietly to Kakashi's story. The general meaning of Kakashi is still the same as in the original work. He took out 2 bells and said that if 2 people had to grab the bells, they would pass the test successfully. As for the other person who cannot grab the bell, he will be sent back to school. Nani? Sakura's eyes widened and she held her cheeks in surprise. She understands her own level, and if it comes to written exams, she can still be confident of getting one of the top places. But when it comes to this kind of actual combat, and snatching things from the hands of Jonin, she doesn't have the confidence at all. Please, it would be embarrassing to be sent back to school, okay? Sasuke stared at the bell on Kakashi's waist, his eyes full of confidence. Really, I won't give in. Naruto didn't say anything, he just stood aside and watched. He originally had little interest in such a terrible plot. Okay, the assessment has officially begun, you all go and get ready. Seeing that the three of them had no objections, Kakashi took out the kissing paradise from his ninja tool bag, turned his back and started watching. Ha, ha, when Sasuke and Sakura heard this, they both ran and jumped quickly and rushed into the bushes on the side. Sakura hid under a dense bush, lying on the ground, looking at the movement outside. Sasuke hid on the trunk of a big tree, exposing his head and exploring what was happening below. However, the three-person team was missing one person, and Naruto still stood there without moving. Sakura frowned. Naruto, what are you doing? I wonder if the most important thing for a ninja is to hide his body. Moreover, the opponent is also a Junin. He will be killed immediately by the opponent. Sasuke also looked puzzled. Naruto, what do you want to do? Naruto, who was stunned on the spot, didn't want to hide immediately. But at this time, the system's lowly notification tone was already ringing in his mind. Ding! It is detected that the host is performing the original plot mission, snatching the bell assessment, and the host is asked to make the following mission choices. Option 1. Successfully snatch the bell from Kakashi's body. Obtain reward chakra fine control and proficiency. Option 1. Successfully snatch the bell from Kakashi and successfully use the Millennium Kill on him. Obtain reward 1 burning fruit. Proficient in fine control of chakra. Naruto's eyes showed a hint of joy. This ability sounds simple and doesn't seem to have much effect, but in fact it has a great effect. Fine control of chakra is a skill that every medical ninja must master. The better a medical ninja is, the more sophisticated his chakra mastery is. And top medical ninjas like Tsunade have reached the level of fine control of chakra. The reason why Tsunade is able to exert strange powers is because her control of chakra has reached an extreme level. Concentrate a large amount of chakra in the body into one point and launch an attack on the enemy, which can achieve the effect of splitting mountains and cracking the ground. Although Naruto has no interest in medical ninjutsu, the temptation of the Kylie Fist is huge. Okay. It's so cool to have the ability to break thick walls with just one punch. As for the content of option 2, if you use the Millennium Kill on Kakashi, can you get the burning fruit reward? Hey, system, are you playing real or fake? Didn't you say that the reward items are all from the ninja world? Naruto was a little excited when he heard about this reward. After possessing the burning fruit, you can control fire infinitely. There is no need to form seals at all, and you can set off an earth-shaking sea of fire with just a wave of your hand, so don't be too awesome, okay? Uchiha Madara's Great Fire Extinguishment is not even 1/5 as powerful as burning the fruit. Ding! This system is so fickle, come and bite me if you don't accept it. Naruto, you are awesome. Naruto was very happy when he heard the system's affirmative reply. Kakashi-sensei, just accept your fate, hehehehe. Thinking of this, Naruto looked at Kakashi's butt unconsciously and let out a weird laugh. Just poke it and you'll get the Xiao Xiao fruit. Bring it to you. Sakura and Sasuke, who were hiding in the distance, also noticed a series of changes in Naruto's expression. From being dazed at the beginning, to his eyes shining brightly, and then, staring at Kakashi's butt, showing a crazy look on his face. Sakura couldn't help but shudder. That Naruto guy, could it be said, that he has that kind of hobby? Sasuke couldn't help but feel a chill in his heart. Naruto guy, could it be said that he is gay? It seems that I have to stay away from him in the future. Kakashi still didn't know what was going on. He turned back to look at Naruto, and when he saw that the other person was just staring at him with such unscrupulousness, he couldn't help but have doubts on his face. Nani, Naruto, why don't you just find a place to hide like them? Naruto chuckled. Kakashi-sensei, there's no need to hide, let's fight it out now. The technique of multiple shadow clones. After the sealing was completed, shadow clones appeared one after another. Naruto's shadow clone No 1000 surrounded Kakashi inside and out, and surrounded him completely. Sakura's mouth widened and her jaw almost dislocated. Nani, how is it possible? How can the number of shadow clones be so many? Sasuke's face was full of shock. and a hint of jealousy flashed in his eyes. Naruto. How much strength have you achieved, this guy? Kakashi's lazy eyelids finally opened completely. He put away the Book of Intimate Paradise in his hand and put it back in the satchel on his waist. Oh, the number of shadow clones is really surprising. Although the third-generation old man has said that Naruto's strength has grown to a very abnormal level. But now that Kakashi saw this number of shadow clones with his own eyes, he was still very surprised. Each shadow clone will take away the same amount of chakra as the original body. Ordinary ninjas can be divided into 3 to 5 people at most, and they all have to weigh whether their chakra is enough. If the shadow clone exhausts all the chakra, the main body will also be in danger of life due to excessive chakra consumption. Hehehehe, Kakashi-sensei, then let's decide the outcome. Naruto's shadow clones let out a burst of silly laughter. Then, 1,000 people took out kunai at the same time and rushed towards Kakashi. Bang, bang, Kakashi was surrounded by Naruto's shadow clones, dodging and dancing one after another. Between the fists and kicks, the shadow clones that surrounded him were struck one by one until they turned into white smoke and disappeared in the air. But the number of shadow clones numbering 1,000 is not so easy for Kakashi to deal with. Although every time he attacks and dodges, he looks cool and elegant. But if he consumes it for a long time, he will also feel tired. In the woods not far away, Sasuke was hiding in a big tree and had been observing the battle below. Let Naruto consume Kakashi's energy. I'll go over and snatch the bell later. Sasuke had already made up his mind to find the right opportunity to launch a sneak attack on Kakashi. Although there are many shadow clones of Naruto. But Sasuke also saw that Naruto might not be able to complete the snatching of the bell just because of the numerical advantage. Sasuke, I'm afraid it's not very good if you want to reap the benefits. Naruto's voice sounded. Sasuke looked slightly startled and quickly followed the direction of the sound and looked down. Naruto didn't know when he had arrived under the big tree where he was hiding, and several people jumped up and stood beside him. When exactly? Naruto shook his head. Sasuke, now is not the time to talk about this. You must not know the real purpose of this bell-grabbing assessment. Naruto then told Sasuke roughly the details he knew. That is the content of this assessment, snatching the bell is just a cover. The real purpose is to let the 3 of them understand the true meaning of unity and cooperation among companions. In other words, only if the 3 of them join forces to launch an attack on Kakashi can they pass this assessment mission. The other side. There was also a shadow clone of Naruto who explained the content of the assessment task to Sakura, who was hiding under the bushes. Of course, Naruto didn't explain it so straightforwardly to the 2 of them. I just said that I roughly guessed what it meant. With how smart Sasuke and Sakura were, they immediately understood the intention with just a few simple reminders from Naruto. After all, when I was in ninja school, Iruka has often said that the ninja team that performs missions is always a team of 3. Moreover, the 3 people selected to form a team all have their own strengths and can play a complementary role. The current situation of snatching the bell is just a cover used by Kakashi and used in actual combat situations. Sasuke nodded. So that's it, team fighting. Sakura also suddenly realized. I understand, Naruto, then I wish us a happy cooperation. Naruto explained the meeting place to the 2 of them, and then discussed the tactics of sneak attack on Kakashi. Then, the 2 Naruto shadow clones came into contact on their own and disappeared into white smoke with a bang. Beyond the trees, on the edge of the small river, Kakashi's handsome figure kept shuttling back and forth between the shadow clones. Every time he punches or kicks, he can scatter a shadow clone. At this time, all 1,000 Naruto shadow clones had been defeated by Kakashi's taijutsu training, and only a few were left. Bang! Kakashi gave another beautiful kick, knocking 3 Narutos to the ground. The shadow clones were unable to bear the heavy blow, and each one exploded into a cloud of white smoke and dissipated. One of the 3 major systems of ninja combat, taijutsu. Naruto, although you can create this number of shadow clones, because your own physical training is not strong enough, the strength of the clones is also weak. Kakashi, who had killed all the shadow clones, was so tired that he began to breathe heavily. But he still put on a handsome posture, looked at the last Naruto and began to preach. Nani, how could this happen? Is this the strength of a Jonin? Naruto's eyes showed fear. He unconsciously took 2 steps back, turned around and wanted to run away into the woods behind him. An evil smile appeared on Kakashi's lips. Shoo! The teleportation technique was activated, and Kakashi reached behind Naruto in a few flashes. He squatted down with his knees slightly bent, clasped his hands together, extended his index and middle fingers outward, and stabbed straight towards Naruto's buttocks. The most powerful and ultimate secret of physical skills, 1,000 years of killing. Naruto trembled all over and felt his anus tighten. The smile on Kakashi's face became even more evil, and he pushed forward with both hands. Naruto's body flew into the air, formed a parabola, and fell to the ground outside the trees. But as soon as Naruto's body hit the ground, a cloud of white smoke exploded with a bang. Is this also a shadow clone? The smile on Kakashi's face froze, and he had a premonition that something was wrong. Then, from the corner of his eye, he caught a glimpse of several kunai with the mark of the Flying Thunder God on the ground behind him, inserted straight into the soil. Shoo! The Flying Thunder God technique activates. An orange figure flashed and appeared behind Kakashi. Kakashi-sensei, thank you for teaching me taijutsu. I will give it back to you for the next move. The most powerful and ultimate secret of physical skills, 1,000 years of killing. Naruto clasped his hands together, stretched out his index and middle fingers, and stabbed Kakashi's buttocks. Nani? Kakashi looked shocked. The Flying Thunder God's instant activation was so fast that he didn't have time to dodge at this time. He just instinctively moved his butt forward to dodge, hoping that his anus would not suffer serious damage. Success. Puff. Fingers and buttocks touch, 2 fingers penetrate inside. But before Naruto could be happy, with a bang, Kakashi's body exploded into a cloud of white smoke. A tree stump fell to the ground with a clang. But Kakashi's body disappeared from where he was. It's okay, I almost fell into that boy's trick, but then again, Flying Thunder God is really a difficult ninjutsu. Kakashi breathed a sigh of relief, but before he could recover, another voice sounded from the tree behind him. Hi, Kakashi-sensei, I've been waiting for you for a long time. Haruno Sakura was smiling and waved to say hello to Kakashi. At the same time, she held the kunai tightly in her other hand and slashed at a rope in front of her. Wow, the rope broke in response, and the mechanism set behind the rope also started. A large dense kunai shot straight towards Kakashi's direction. Oh, these little guys are really not simple. Kakashi looked slightly shocked. A kunai appeared in his hand, and he quickly turned several knives. In order to avoid the kunai's shot, he bent his knees slightly and made a vertical leap towards the back. Waving the kunai in his hand, an airtight defensive sword light danced in front of him. Ding ding dong. Intense weapons clashes sounded. Art fire escape ho fireball. Kakashi fell downwards in the air and finally escaped the intensive kunai shooting. But Sasuke didn't know when. He emerged from behind a big tree among the trees below, and used a fire escape to attack Kakashi. These little guys are really good. Kakashi looked slightly shocked. Although he was in the air, he was not too panicked. The fingers of his hands danced rapidly, and the speed of the seal was so fast that afterimages appeared. Water escape water formation wall. Water escape ninjutsu completed. He stood with one hand in front of him, and gurgling water spurted out from his mouth, condensing into a wall of water waves and covering the fireball. Chi, chi. The water and fire collided, making a harsh, puff, sound, and thick white smoke rose up. But just for a short while, the fireball was unable to withstand the onslaught of the water wall and was completely extinguished. Kakashi's feet had just landed when he felt danger coming from behind. Kakashi-sensei, I'm sorry, I'm the real one here. Sure enough, Naruto's voice rang out. He used the Flying Thunder God to predict where Kakashi would land on the ground, and threw the Flying Thunder God's special kunai in advance, inserting it into the ground. Suddenly, Naruto suddenly appeared behind Kakashi. He reached for the bell on Kakashi's waist with one hand, and stretched out his fingers with the other hand to poke Kakashi's butt. Naruto had already made up his mind. If he could complete both tasks at the same time, he might be able to obtain double rewards from the system. Nani? Kakashi glanced out of the corner of his eye and saw that Naruto's fingers were only 1 centimeter away from his anus, and his heart was in his throat. He twisted his hips forward as hard as he could, increasing the distance between them. But the upper body showed its great potential, twisting the waist to a weird arc, and punched Naruto in the head. Bang! Naruto felt a pain in his cheek, and his whole body was knocked backwards by a strong force. "Huh, it's okay." Kakashi let out a long breath of relief and patted his chest with lingering fear. Finally, he was not in danger of having his anus penetrated by the student. Naruto. When Sasuke saw Naruto being severely injured, a flash of anxiety flashed in his eyes. He waved the kunai in his hand and rushed towards Kakashi. He kept hitting Kakashi with his fists and kicks, but Kakashi easily resisted every time. Sakura jumped down from the big tree and stood aside at a loss. Well, what should I do? Should I go up and fight with Sasuke? But Kakashi-sensei is a Junin. Sakura knew how much she weighed. The kunai hidden weapon trap she made in the woods just now was all Sasuke's idea. Naruto relied on his shadow clone to delay time, and finally lured Kakashi near the trap, forcing Kakashi to use the substitute technique to avoid the Millennium killing. The series of plans are perfect. But even so, he still couldn't take down Kakashi. The level of Jonin's strength is too high and cannot be dealt with so easily. Stop, Sasuke, Kakashi-sensei, we have completed the mission. Naruto chuckled and wiped the dirt stains from his face. He raised his right hand slightly, and the 2 bells swayed slightly in his hand, making a subtle, ding bell, sound. Is that Kakashi-sensei's bell? That's great. Sakura jumped in place with joy. Sasuke also turned over and retreated several times, getting out of the battle circle. After looking at the bell in Naruto's hand, there was a hint of surprise in his eyes. Really? That guy Naruto really did it? What is his ninjutsu that can get close to the enemy instantly? Sasuke gritted his teeth, feeling a little jealous that Naruto could possess this strength. In other words, Sasuke has been practicing desperately every day for these years just to improve his strength as soon as possible so that he can avenge that man for his tribe and his parents. But now, he was overtaken by the previous crane in the class, which made him have some doubts. He doubted whether his efforts over the past few years were worth it. Kakashi's eyes also showed surprise, and he murmured to himself, so that's it, the 1,000-year kill is just a feint on his part. In order to attract all my attention, he actually targeted the bell. What a nice boy, Minato-sensei. This guy Naruto already has a bit of your demeanor back then. Kakashi looked up at the sky and sighed in his heart. In fact, Kakashi really thought wrong. Naruto didn't think that much at all at that time, he just wanted to complete 2 tasks at the same time. Ding! Congratulations to the host. The content of the bell-grabbing assessment task is that the host has completed the task of option 1 and successfully snatched the bell from Kakashi. The following rewards are now distributed to you. Obtain Reward 1, Chakra Fine Control and Proficiency. As the system's lowly prompt sounded, a ball of cyan light flew out of the virtual interface and merged into Naruto's mind. In an instant, the details of chakra control and the precautions on how to concentrate on its use all appeared in my mind. It was as if Naruto had gained this knowledge through years of accumulation and practice. Kakashi-sensei, our bell-grabbing assessment task should be considered completed, right? Sakura saw everyone present fell into silence. She trotted forward and asked Kakashi a question. Kakashi glanced at Sakura, nodded and said, of course. Not only did you complete the assessment, but you also cooperated very well. Although I don't know how you can understand the meaning of team fighting so quickly, there is one thing I still have to give you advice. Those who break the rules of the ninja world are called trash. But those who don't know how to value their companions are worse than trash. The 3 of you will be each other's companions from now on. You must value each other and cherish each other. Kakashi said these preaching words and deliberately looked at Naruto and Sasuke. He has also discovered that these 2 little guys are a little deep-minded, as if they have a lot of things in their hearts. The weaker Haruno Sakura didn't seem to take the 2 of them too seriously. Sasuke frowned and muttered in his heart, do you cherish your companions? If these companions will hinder my path of revenge, then I will cut them off without hesitation. Naruto also disagreed with this statement in his heart. He shook his head and muttered in his heart, If it were in the past, I might have believed that there is light in this world, and that the friendship between companions can offset the pain I suffered in the past, but it is different now, Mr. Kakashi. I am destined to judgment of Konoha. The suffering and discrimination that Naruto has suffered in the past 10 years are all caused by Danzo and the third generation. Danzo himself wanted to become a Jinchuriki, so he tried to get his subordinates to spread rumors. They say that Naruto is a demon fox monster, but they never mention that Naruto's father is the fourth Hokage, Namikaze Minato. Sarutobi Hiruzen acted weakly and allowed Danzo to do whatever he wanted, but never stopped him. As the son of a hero, Naruto should have been treated well. But looking back at Naruto's life over the past 10 years, eating expired milk and instant noodles every day. Every day when I go out, I encounter discrimination and abuse from villagers. Why didn't the third Hokage stand up and clarify all these facts for Naruto? Perhaps the third Hokage's heart was originally dark, and he was not as kind as he appeared. Looking back at the major events that have happened in Konoha in recent years, Hinata Hazashi was forced to commit suicide by Kumogakure, and Hitaki Shigemogi was attacked by the villagers, public opinion, and committed suicide. Also, the entire Uchiha clan was wiped out. None of these things had anything to do with Sarutobi Hiruzen. He and Danzo may have done those bad things together, one in the open and the other in the dark. In order to stabilize his position, he did not hesitate to use various means to kill capable ninjas and families in the village. Look at how many strong men the first and second generations had when they were in power. And what about the third generation? In addition to a few elite Junin such as Kakashi and Metkai, what other powerful ninjas can be used? Smack, smack. Kakashi clapped his hands and drew everyone's attention back. Alright, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, the three of you should go back and rest today. Meet under the Hokage's office building tomorrow morning. We will take over the ninja mission starting tomorrow. Sakura's face was filled with excitement. Yeah. Great. I'm finally a ninja and don't have to be sent back to school, well. At this point, Sakura quickly covered her mouth. She accidentally exposed her true thoughts, causing her cheeks to turn red. The other people present looked at Sakura in slight surprise, and shook their heads helplessly. Since the task of grabbing the bell ended early, there was no need to tie the tree stumps, and the three people shared 2 boxes of lunch. It was just after 11 a.m., and Kakashi had already announced their disbandment. Naruto had nothing to do at this moment, so he naturally went to the self-service bento shop first, bought 2 bento boxes, sat down and started eating. To be honest, the texture and taste of the bento are very average. But this is the place where Naruto often came to eat. Why? Because the lunch boxes here are cheap and very filling. Another thing is that the lunch boxes here are completely self-service, and no store owner will show off or chase you away. Therefore, Naruto does not have to suffer the glares from the villagers, and can also have a hot meal outside. Ah, so full. After 2 portions, Naruto touched his round belly and let out a sigh of satisfaction. There was still a whole afternoon left, and Naruto did not waste it. He rushed directly to the training ground and started physical strengthening training. Opening the 8-door Dunjia requires a strong physique. Among the various abilities that Naruto currently possesses, 8-gate Dunjia is the most powerful attack method. As long as his physical strength is increased to the point where he can open more than 7 gates, Naruto should have no rivals in the ninja world for the time being. After all, it's not yet time for Gundams to be everywhere in the later stage. Run 500 laps around the training ground, do 3,000 push-ups, 1,000 squats, 1,500 pull-ups, and hit wooden stakes for 3 hours. Soon, the afternoon training time passed like this. When Naruto returned home, he only felt that his legs were shaking a little, his whole body showed signs of weakness, and he couldn't even lift his arms. But he still endured the discomfort, took off his sweat-stained clothes, and washed himself in the shower room. Then I simply had some dinner and went to bed. Jingle bell. At 5:50 the next morning, the bedside alarm rang on time. Naruto opened his eyes that were covered with ice shit, raised his hands and stretched. Ah, it feels so comfortable. After 8 hours of sleep, the fatigue from yesterday's training was wiped away by the powerful recovery ability of the Uzumaki clan's bloodline. And Naruto could clearly feel that his strength and physique had greatly improved. System, start signing in. Naruto gave the order in his mind. Ding. Sign in successfully. Rewards are being distributed to you, please wait. Congratulations to the host. You have received 1 sign-in reward, 3 ninja detonation talisman, fire release ninjutsu, 1 flame bomb, and 3 soldier food pills. The system's lowly notification sounded in Naruto's mind. There are no particularly powerful rewards, but this is normal. Through observing the system these days, Naruto has discovered a pattern. The rewards given by the system every time a task is released are more generous than those given by signing in. After washing his face and brushing his teeth, and eating breakfast, Naruto rushed to his usual training ground as usual. Why go? Because the little Lolita Hinata is still waiting for him. How could he miss the only opportunity to communicate with the little Lolita every day? Naruto-kun. Good morning, good morning. Seeing Naruto appear, Hinata still couldn't change her shy character. She blushed and lowered her head, twirling her fingers in circles. Ah, Hinata, morning, you seem to come earlier than me every time. Have you had breakfast? Naruto scratched the back of his head with a smile and asked 2 straight men cancer questions. Even he himself realized that this kind of topic was a bit boring, and his face was full of embarrassment. But for Hinata, she was very happy to be able to meet the boys she liked, so there was no need to worry about these things. Well, I just came here not long ago. I've had breakfast. Hinata's face turned red, and she happily answered such sterile questions. Amidst the embarrassment, Naruto and Hinata started their morning training. It's still the same as the previous few days, warm up first, then practice in pairs, and then hit the wooden stakes. 2 hours passed, and the time came to 7 in the morning. Naruto and Hinata said goodbye to each other and walked separately towards the places agreed upon by their respective classes. At the entrance of the stairs of the office building, 2 people, Yamashiro Aoba and Namashi, were waiting, one on the left and the other behind. These 2 people were originally ninjas at the same time as Kakashi, but because their own strength was not too outstanding, they now acted as guardians for Sarutobi Hiruzen. When they watched Naruto walking from the street in the distance, a flash of envy flashed in their eyes. Yamashiro Aoba. By the way, that guy Naruto has learned to fly the Thunder God, and I'm afraid he will be reused by the 3rd generation in the future. Bing Lei nodded. Ah, you were right. When I was a guard for the 4th generation, I was lucky enough to be taught the Flying Thunder God technique by him. But it's a pity that the qualifications of our guards are so poor that none of us can learn the Flying Thunder God technique. In the end, with the combined efforts of 3 people, we were able to barely complete the Flying Thunder formation technique. In his mind, he vaguely recalled the events that followed Minato. He still remembers Minato's kindness to him. Now that I see Minato's son achieving such an achievement, I feel very happy from the bottom of my heart. He is indeed the son of a 4th generation master. His talent is very different from that of the rest of us. When Naruto reached the entrance of the stairs, he noticed that the 2 men had been staring at him and did not hear what they said. Naruto unconsciously reached out and touched his cheek, wondering, what's wrong, seniors, is there something dirty on my face? Only then did the 2 of them notice their gaffe, awkwardly rubbing the backs of their heads and laughing. Yamashiro Aoba. Ah, no, Naruto-kun, good morning. Namazu Rai said. Naruto-kun, Kakashi and the others have just arrived, please hurry up. Naruto nodded. Well, thank you 2 seniors. Although he didn't understand why the 2 people looked at him strangely, Naruto didn't care too much. He walked straight past the 2 of them and walked up the stairs towards the 2nd floor. Haha, let me see what ninja tasks are suitable for team to perform. Naruto walked through the long corridor and just arrived outside the office when he heard an old voice from inside the room. It was Sarutobi Hiruzen. Dong dong dong. Naruto knocked on the door and said with an embarrassed smile, well, I'm sorry, am I late? Kakashi, Sakura, and Sasuke in the room all turned their attention to Naruto. But before they could speak, Sarutobi Hiruzen had already taken the lead in greeting him enthusiastically. Oh, it's Naruto, come in quickly, you're just in time, haha. Naruto nodded and without saying anything else, he walked straight to Sasuke and stood next to him. Sarutobi Hiruzen continued to look at the task list and muttered something. Help Aunt Wong buy watermelons, help Uncle Lee's vegetable garden weed, and help Uncle Lou's vegetable garden pick manure. Hearing this, the three people in class couldn't help but frown, obviously a little resistant to such things. Naruto originally didn't want to have too many conversations with an old guy like Sarutobi Hiruzen, who seemed to be doing one thing but was secretly hiding something else. But when I heard about the task of picking up dung, I still couldn't help shouting, "Hey, old man, you are going too far. Why is there still a task of picking up dung?" Kakashi raised his hand and held down Naruto's head, saying, "Naruto, just follow the arrangements of the third generation. Every ninja starts to accumulate experience from low-level tasks, even if you are good now, and you can't break this rule." Sarutobi Hiruzen also smiled happily and said, "Naruto, Kakashi is right, but since you don't like the task of picking up excrement, just go and perform another task to help the daimyo." His wife retrieved, "Little tiger. Well, this is more suitable for you." Sarutobi Hiruzen made up his mind and assigned the task of catching the cat to a few people from the 7th team. In Sarutobi Hiruzen's heart, he was still happy to accept and refer to Naruto's ideas. After all, Naruto now masters the Flying Thunder God and the 8-Gate Dunjia, and his future achievements are limitless. Not hearing any objections from the Kakashi class, Hiruzen Sarutobi waved his hand and said, "Kakashi, please take Sasuke and Sakura to prepare first. I have something to say to Naruto." "Really, I understand." Kakashi was slightly startled, but he quickly came to his senses. He put one hand on the shoulders of Sasuke and Sakura, and pulled the two of them out of the Hokage's office first. Naruto stood there without moving, and there was no change in expression on his face. "Although I don't know what this old guy wants to say, it is definitely not good." "Haha, Naruto, you don't have to act so serious. The third generation grandpa just wants to have a simple chat with you." Sarutobi Hiruzen took a puff of dry tobacco, blew out thick smoke rings, and said with a smile. Naruto nodded coldly. "Old man, if you have anything to do, just tell me. I'm listening." Being called an old man, Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't show any displeasure on his face. After all, Naruto had always called him this before, ever since Naruto was fishing and grilling fish by the lake when he was a child. Ever since Hiruzen Sarutobi ate half of Naruto's fish, Naruto has always called him the third generation old man. "Naruto, your strength has improved a lot recently. Grandpa is very happy for you. If you are missing something in your life, just come over here and tell me, and I will have someone buy it for you." Naruto froze slightly. What happened? Leave yourself alone just to show your favor. Never seen this old man care about me so much before. However, Naruto still pretended to be happy on the surface, wanting to see what the old man wanted to do. Naruto smiled and said, "Really, old man, then I won't be polite to you." Sarutobi Hiruzen showed that kind fake smile, nodded and said, "Haha, Naruto, you don't have to be too polite to grandpa. Also, those villagers hate you so much because they are ignorant. You don't have to worry too much about them. I think you also know that the 9 tails is sealed in your body. The villagers don't actually hate you, they hate the 9 tails that destroyed the village. I have already said hello to everyone in the village. I will not cause trouble for you for no reason in the future. From now on, just follow Kakashi and perform the mission well. When you grow up, you can become the backbone of the village like Kakashi." Naruto sneered inwardly. "Haha, now that you know how to tell the villagers to shut up, why did you go there earlier?" If he hadn't learned Flying Thunder God and 8-Gate Dunjia, he would probably still be the same as before, not receiving half the attention at all, and would only suffer discrimination and bullying every day. If Naruto hadn't taught the bun shop owner a lesson that morning, those villagers wouldn't be afraid of Naruto from the bottom of their hearts. Now you, Sarutobi Hiruzen, are pretending to be a good guy and taking all the credit on yourself. It's really yours. As expected of the third Hokage, a kind-hearted third-generation Hokage who does one thing on the outside but another behind the scenes. Naruto felt even more disgusted with Sarutobi Hiruzen. But Naruto also knew deeply that his current strength was not enough to shake Sarutobi Hiruzen in the slightest. Therefore, Naruto did not show all his emotions on his face, but chose to endure it. Naruto replied expressionlessly, "Really? Thank you so much, old man. I will continue to practice hard." Upon hearing this, Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded with satisfaction. Well, Naruto, you can practice with peace of mind. If you don't understand anything, you can ask Kakashi for advice. He is our Konoha, a very good ninja. After bidding farewell to Sarutobi Hiruzen, Naruto left the Hokage's office building directly. At the corner of the street, Naruto turned back and looked at the Hokage's office building, with a sneer on his lips. Haha, don't worry, third-generation old man, I will continue to work hard to practice and strive to completely overthrow the seemingly peaceful Konoha you rule in the shortest possible time. It will take about more than a month. Under the leadership of Kakashi, the 3 members of Team 3 perform some D-level tasks every day. The content of the mission is exactly as Sarutobi Hiruzen introduced previously, including weeding and fertilizing vegetable fields, helping villagers take care of their children, picking up garbage in the river, and helping ladies catch cats and dogs. Tasks like this are repeated every day. There is really no way this lowest level mission can improve a ninja's mission experience. In addition to the teammates becoming more familiar with each other and understanding each other, the biggest benefit is probably that it will hone the minds and perseverance of these children. Except for class under the leadership of Kurenai Yuhi and Asuma, are also performing these D-level tasks. Therefore, under this premise, there is still time left for Naruto and Hinata to do it together every morning. Over the past month, Naruto and Hinata's relationship has grown day by day, and now they have become very close friends of the opposite gender. Both of them understood the other's feelings for them, but no one chose to pierce the hazy window paper. After all, Naruto and Hinata are still very young now, and this hazy and ambiguous feeling makes them feel particularly sweet in their hearts. Another morning comes. As usual, Naruto came to the familiar training ground and met Hinata. Naruto-kun, here, this is the breakfast I made. Hinata's face flushed with excitement, holding a lunchbox in both hands and delivering it to Naruto. Just half a month ago, Hinata accidentally came up with the idea of making breakfast for Naruto. After practice, her cooking skills received a series of 5-star praise from Naruto, plus rainbow fart praise. Therefore, Hinata changed her ways every day and began to prepare some different kinds of breakfast for Naruto. Thank you, Hinata, you are such an excellent girl. Not only is she gentle and kind, but you can also cook. With a smile on his face, Naruto stretched out his hands and stepped forward, as if to take the lunch intentionally or unintentionally, but he grabbed Hinata's little hand. Naruto laughed wildly in his heart. Ha 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 ha. Girls, hold the girl's hands inadvertently and look into the other person's eyes with affectionate eyes. Then slowly move your head closer to capture the other person's first kiss. Ah, Naruto-kun. You. Hinata's body trembled slightly as she felt the back of her hand being wrapped by a pair of big hands. She looked up and saw Naruto looking at her with that lewd look. Her cheeks turned red with embarrassment and she was a little overwhelmed. Ha 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 ha, Hinata, I'm here, give me your first kiss. Naruto was filled with ecstasy and slowly moved his head up. According to Article 76 of the Secret Book of Picking Up Girls, if a girl shows no intention of resisting, it means that the other party is willing to accept her. Article 77 of the Secret Book of Picking Up Girls, if a girl shows resistance, it means that the other party is being reserved and shy, and can use forced kissing. Smack, smack. As expected of the eldest lady of the Hyuga clan, she has the leisure and elegance to talk about love here so early in the morning. Applause sounded. Immediately afterwards, Hinata Neji appeared from the road outside the training ground, looking at Hinata and Naruto with disdain. Following him were 2 other people. Rock Lee, who often talks about youth. Tenten is the collector with the most ninja tools in Naruto. These 3 people are all graduates of the last ninja school and are also members of the 3rd class of the Konoha 3. Naruto-kun, we meet again. Rock Lee was smiling and waved enthusiastically to greet Naruto. Tiantian's face was full of surprise. Hey, Xiao Li, do you actually know that guy? For a while every day, I was still a little unclear about the situation. Judging from the sarcasm Neji just made, it seemed that he did not have a friendly relationship with the 2 newcomers in front of him. But Rock Lee seems to be very familiar with the newcomer. Rock Lee nodded, raised his hand and gave a thumbs up, his white teeth flashed with a golden light. That's right, Naruto-kun is a taijutsu practitioner like me. His physical talent is also very outstanding. Good morning, Xiao Li. Naruto nodded and briefly greeted Lock Lee, then turned to look at Hyuga Neji. That guy had a hateful look on his face, and his eyes were full of disdain, which was comparable to Sasuke's previous cold and aloof personality. Brother Neji, it's not what you think. Naruto-kun and I are just practicing here. It's not like what you said. Hinata quickly withdrew her hand and lowered her head as if she wanted to explain something. But her character is kind and weak, her voice is very small, and she seems very unimpressive. Hinata Neji glared at Hinata with disdain and said coldly, Miss Hinata, you clan members don't need to explain anything to the people in the branch family. Please feel free to rest assured. I don't have the free time to meddle in other people's business. Report your secret love affair to Hazu-sama. Having said this, a sarcastic smile appeared on Hinata Neji's lips. After all, you, the eldest lady of the clan, have long been ignored. Like the people from our branch family, you were sent to the ninja school to practice, and your clan, my sister, Hanabi, must have taken away my identity as the heir. Hinata's head hung lower. Hinata Neji's words deeply hurt her heart. When they were very young, Hinata and Neji were very close siblings. But it wasn't until the age of 5 that the curse of the caged bird was planted on Neji's forehead. Until Neji saw his father for the first time and was controlled by Hinata's father using a curse seal, a bottomless scar had been buried in Neji's heart. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.